Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. We are going live with some breaking news. We do have a new tornado warning that was just issued east of St. Louis. This is going to be near Interstate 70, just south of the Vandalia area and south of St. Elmo. This particular rotation is rain wrapped and it's been strong for quite some time. It's going to be located just south of Pleasant Mound. It's going to be right in this area here, so it's a very rain wrapped area of circulation. With that being said, this could produce a tornado at any time, and it is a pretty dangerous storm with damaging winds, lots of lightning, in addition now to the potential of a tornado. So if you are in this tornado warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. Again, a strong area of rotation has been developing for the last several minutes. The main areas that are included in this in Illinois are St. James, the Laclede area, the Far Ena area, a lot of pronunciations that I'm probably not saying right, as well as Vernon and the Shawbonier area. So all those areas included again in this brand new tornado warning just south of Interstate 70. Again, if you are in this tornado warning, you need to be seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning that has just been added to the southern side of this storm, and that is going to be for $half sized hail and as well as the potential for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So again, if you are in the tornado warning, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows and lowest floor possible. If you're on the southern side of the storm, we do have an ongoing area down here of some rotation, and this is what the velocities look like right now. So our main pocket of rotation is just south of Interstate 70, just south of Vandalia, and then back down here near the Sandoval area, that is where we're also watching for some rotation with this storm. So two different storms right now that are rotating here in southern central parts of Illinois. And once again, if you know anybody in this area as well, make sure to get the word out to them, make sure that they are staying weather aware. At this time, it is radar indicated rotation, but it still does have a chance to produce a tornado at any time as it continues to move to the east northeast. I do want to quickly update you on a couple of storms that are ongoing back down in really mainly western Tennessee now. We have two different supercells, one of which was just dropping some really large ping pong ball sized hail here in the town of Martin, Tennessee. Actually, it was kind of a crazy sight to see. This storm though is beginning to weaken. We had some rotation on this, but it is weakening out, so I'm not too concerned about that storm with the tornado risk. I would be watching this storm though back near the Luxura area as well as Osceola closely. It's about to be crossing right over the Mississippi River, and we may see some sort of tornado aspect try to develop with this as it moves into western Tennessee. We do have a live cam on Radar Omega that we'll be using in case this does try to rotate. We'll have some view on that as well back down there in Lauderdale County, Tennessee, so we'll continue to keep a close eye on that storm. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is a new tornado warning issued a few minutes ago by the National Weather Service just south of Interstate 70. This is east of St. Louis. It is a rain-wrapped area of rotation, meaning that if there is a tornado, it is going to be extremely difficult to see. So if you are in this warning, make sure that you are staying away from windows, lowest floor possible. And again, just south of Interstate 70, just south of Vandalia and south of St. Elmo, it is going to be moving east-northeast towards Interstate 57 and eventually going toward areas like Watson down the road. If you're in Effingham, I would keep a close eye on this cluster of storms. Though I think the tornado risk is really going to be between now and about 6:30 or so. I don't think this tornado risk is going to go for that long, but it will probably exist for about an hour or so. And with that being said, Effingham would be somewhat in the track of at least this cluster of storms. So if you have any sort of outdoor activities that you have in plan right now, obviously make sure you're watching the skies very closely, because this particular area of storms is producing a boatload of lightning. In addition to that, we do have damaging winds coming with this area of storms and also a tornado risk, which has been developing for really the last half an hour or so. Also, further down to the south, watch this area. If you're back over west of Irvington or the Centralia area, we do have some rotation developing here as well, just north of Interstate 64. That is also east of St. Louis. I do want to point out, though, that this rotation just southeast of Pleasant Mound was much stronger about 5 to 10 minutes ago. It is on a weakening trend, so we'll continue to monitor the trends here. It has been weakening for the last several minutes, so we may see this warning get lifted if that trend continues. I would just make sure, again, if you're in this warning, to stay in your safe place. And then back over near Sandoval, again, another pocket of rotation that's been trying to develop there for the last few minutes has been struggling as well, but we definitely have damaging winds, and also some pretty large hail is likely. We have a black area here popping up on the reflectivity, and that indicates some pretty hefty hail right now that is falling here just to the northwest of Sandoval. So again, once again, if you are in these areas, make sure that you are staying in your safe place again here in southern central parts of Illinois. We do have a new Storm Prediction Center mesoscale outlook discussion, and that is for the next few hours. A couple of tornadoes may develop by the early evening. Isolated large hail and possibly a tornado or two will be the main hazards. So the primary hazards here, that includes areas in northwest Mississippi, southeast Arkansas, and as well as northern Louisiana. So that is the latest here from the Storm Prediction Center on that outlook. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is a new tornado warning issued a few minutes ago by the National Weather Service east of St. Louis, just along and south of Interstate 70. This is our area of rotation. It is completely rain wrapped. We are a bit away from the radar site, so obviously the resolution is going to be limited. With that being said, the rotation is embedded in a large area of rain, so overall it is going to be difficult to see this. So again, if you're in this tornado warning, just make sure that you are staying in your safe place, once again away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. We are still watching the storm near Sandoval as well for an isolated tornado risk, and then also back down south of Breeze there has been some rotation associated with this area of storms that is also moving east. So again, multiple storms right now here in southern Illinois that we are watching for at least a low tornado risk in addition to some damaging winds. And then back over in western Tennessee, we'll also be watching for the potential there of some storms ramping up there. Those also could produce a threat for some damaging winds and maybe an isolated tornado. With all this being said, by the way, we do have a low tornado risk in northern and central Iowa tonight. Just keep that in mind. That's over really the next hour or two. We did have a tornado warning there about a half an hour ago. And I don't think that confirmed a tornado by any means, but we did have a confirmed tornado in Iowa at about 3:50 p.m. So about an hour and a half ago. It was north of Des Moines. So we've already at least had one tornado today that's been confirmed, and it's definitely possible that this particular area of storms produces a tornado, maybe even two tornadoes, as this moves further off to the east-northeast. Once again, rotation's located right next to Route 51, just north of Vernon. This will be approaching the Wilburton area of southern central Illinois, and eventually going towards the Laclede area. So Edgewood also going to be in the track of this, but you are not currently included in this tornado warning. Again, this rotation is completely rain wrapped. There's a ton of rain around this, so it's going to be very difficult to see. So again, make sure that you're just staying in your safe place and not trying to look for this particular area of rotation. And once again, a quick update back down near the Tennessee and Kentucky border. We've been watching the storm closely for the last several minutes. Right along the border, here's actually a live shot right now of this storm, and really good view there, but we just had a second ago. They're changing camera angles here, but a large rain shaft. This one is again back over right along the Mississippi River. They may be repositioning this again, I'm not sure. But on the very left side of your screen, it looked like we may have had at least some sort of small lowering with this storm. We do have some broad rotation here. And again, this storm right now is not tornado warned, but it is definitely an interesting storm to watch. Again, this is located in Lauderdale County in western Tennessee. We'll be watching this storm closely and see if this one can perhaps produce an isolated tornado risk. We actually have a bit of a hook here developing. So that'll also be something to watch for very closely over the next several minutes. The storm back up in northwest Tennessee, the one that was producing some fairly large hail in the Union City area near, what was the area again? It was Martin, Tennessee. That area saw some pretty significant hail. That storm is on a weakening trend. So at this time, it is a storm that is weakening. But we will keep a close eye on it in case it tries to redevelop at all. Once again, tornado warning still ongoing in southern central Illinois for a broadening area of rotation just south of Vandalia. This will be going towards Interstate 57, eventually going towards Watson. This is not far from Effingham, Illinois, so we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on this storm. I would not be surprised if we at least get a severe thunderstorm warning down here just to the south of Breeze. This particular storm is beginning to rotate, so we'll have to watch that closely. That is another rain-wrapped area of rotation back in southern central parts of Illinois. But once again, Effingham not too far away from the storm, so if you're in Effingham or any of the areas in the vicinity of that, definitely make sure that you are keeping a very close eye to the sky in case you are included in this particular area and in case this storm ends up trying to produce a tornado down the road as this continues to move to the east. Not seeing anything confirmed as of right now in terms of reports, by the way. Again, we'll keep you posted if we do get any reports. We'll relay information. Currently taking a look and seeing if we have anything right now. Let's go back to the other radar down here to the southeast. This might actually give us a better view here of this rotation. Here's another view of that rotation. This actually shows it much better. You can actually see that rotation right now near Vernon. Again, it is still on the broader side of things, but the rotation definitely looks a bit more impressive from this angle. The damaging wind factor definitely exists here. We are definitely talking about at least some damaging winds here, just south of Interstate 70, just southwest of Effingham. So there's definitely a chance that, again, we get some sort of isolated tornado threat here over the next 30 minutes. Again, this is right near Interstate 70. It does include areas near Interstate 57, near exit 135. So if you are traveling along Interstate 57, keep in mind if you're near exit 135, that is where there is going to be a potential here for a tornado. So again, you are in that tornado warning. Very interesting storm structure, though. We have a backside inflow going into the storm. And again, your hook is right in here. That's basically where the tornado would be located, would be inside of that big rain-wrapped core here just south of Vandalia. So definitely an interesting storm. And then further down to the south near the Sandoval area in Illinois, we are still watching for large hail there. And you'll actually notice that here, pretty hefty hail core right there. That is just approaching the Sandoval area in Salem. If you've not already, I would recommend protecting your vehicles because there is going to be a potential for some hail damage here, especially across southern parts of Illinois. And in addition to that, perhaps back over in western Tennessee where there are some storms ongoing there. And I'm going to quickly check that storm back down in Tennessee. I do want to quickly go to the Tennessee storm, and we'll go back to Illinois here in a second. This storm, again, has been rotating a little bit more here over the last few minutes. We do have a live cam on this as well. This is Lauderdale County. Let me see if I can get this one to load. There you go. Wow, look at this storm. This is the one, again, back over in western Tennessee. And this is on Radar Omega, again, in Lauderdale County. Big rain shaft. Looks like we have some sort of scud rising action activity over there. Perhaps a wall cloud trying to form. A lot of rain falling with this storm, and also the hail threat is definitely increasing. We have had a little bit of rotation with this. Nothing too definitive over the last couple of scans, but definitely going to be something that we'll have to watch for closely over the next few minutes. All right, let's go back over to, we'll go back to Illinois. Again, this tornado warning, if you're just tuning in, is in southern central Illinois near Vandalia. Rotation is still actually strengthening a little bit here over the last scan. And again, this rotation will be approaching the Wilburton area and Laclede. Once again, that rotation is rain wrapped, so make sure if you are in this area that you're just going to your safe place. That is a basement, a storm shelter, a closet, a bathroom. Make sure you're staying away from windows and staying on the lowest floor possible interior room of your home or building as this storm does continue to move to the east. Very interesting storm though right now. Again, let me zoom out a little bit here. So again, that rotation right now is going to be located right in there. It's on the back side here of this storm, and it is completely rain wrapped right now. By the way, thank you, Glenn, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, once again, this tornado warning is just south of Interstate 70. And I'm going to be approaching Interstate 57, so it'll be approaching that kind of cross-section there, perhaps going towards Effingham as well. The storm right now is traveling east-northeast, so as of at this current time, this will at least be going toward the southern side there of Effingham. So if you are in Effingham, again, you're not in a tornado warning. The tornado threat should stay low overall, but if this storm is still severe by the time it gets to you, damaging winds and frequent lightning will be possible, and then there will still be that chance for an isolated tornado as this does move to the east. Let me real quickly, we're gonna go down to this live cam, and I'm just gonna go and pull this out. So we'll keep this at the bottom right, just so we at least have a view there on that storm. Again, this storm in particular back over in western Tennessee, we've been watching for several minutes now. It has a little bit of rotation. It has a hook developing, so we'll see if this can try to develop a tornado risk here. Bottom left of your screen there, that is where the storm is. This is the live cam, so it's looking right into it. So we have a large rain shaft, and I'm not seeing any super definitive lowering as of right now, but we will keep a close eye on that because that particular live cam on Radar Omega has a very good view on on that. So we will keep, again, a very close eye on that particular storm. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for the Centralia area near the Okawaville and Irvington locations in southern Illinois. This is just north of Nashville near Interstate 64. So if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, I would recommend just staying away from windows on the lowest floor possible. There will be a chance for damaging winds, which could knock over some trees in this area. And again, this will be moving east, going towards Interstate 57. Salem, Sandoval, Centralia, Irvington, and near Mount Vernon are all going to be in the track of that particular storm. And then your rotating storm that's right now located just to the south of Vandalia is currently, again, rotating. We actually still have some pretty, at least defined, a pretty defined area of rotation. I wouldn't say that this is super strong by any means, but we definitely have a pretty defined area of rotation right now, still south of Vandalia. So this tornado warning is likely going to continue for at least the next several minutes, as this still has a chance of producing a tornado as it moves towards Watson and Effingham. Those will be the next two main locations in the track of this storm. With that being said, near Interstate 57, I would definitely be mindful near the Leclerc area. There is still a chance here for a tornado. Make sure if you are in the pink polygon that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building, as this does continue to move to the east-northeast. Here's the latest radar scan. So still a good amount of rotation there. Back further down to the south near Sandoval, I'm looking mainly at a large hail concern. We are still looking at some very broad rotation there, but it's nothing too impressive. We will continue to keep a close eye on that storm near Sandoval, Illinois, moving towards Salem and Kinmundy. Those will be the next areas in the track of that storm as well. We had a confirmed tornado at 3:50 p.m. in, I think, northern Iowa. So we've at least had one confirmed tornado thus far today. And there was actually video of that. I'm not sure if we have a... I saw a video earlier on Twitter. I'm going to retweet it if I find it again. I might have already retweeted it. Yeah, there was one at 3:50 or so. That was probably the one. Yeah, that was north of Des Moines. It was in, like, north central Iowa. I retweeted the video of that particular tornado. Looked like more of a landspout, but by the sounds of it, it was a an actual tornado. There was some sort of... Yeah, there was a mesocyclone and a funnel overhead, so... Tucker, it's good. That's fun. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is still an active tornado warning in southern Illinois. They just did make a adjustment to this tornado warning, so it no longer includes areas near Route 51 south of Vandalia. So if you're in Vernon, you no longer have to be in your safe place. Rotation still a bit more on the broad side of things, not super definitive at this time. Correlation coefficient is not indicating a tornado at this point. The rotation itself is on the back side of this near the Wilburton area. This will be moving east. Here's that live cam view. Let's go real quickly back down to Tennessee. We have a live cam view here on the storm that's also trying to rotate back over near ARP in Lauderdale County. Let me go full screen to this. Look at that thing. Wow. Whoa, look at that lightning on the left side of your screen. That's some cloud to ground lightning right there. But yeah, this is a pretty impressive storm right here. That was some crazy lightning. I don't know who's controlling the camera, but they're doing a pretty good job here. And this is back over in western Tennessee. This is not the tornado warning cell, but honestly, this is a pretty interesting storm. We got a lot of rising scud cloud activity right here in the middle of your screen. All this scud cloud. This doesn't always mean, I mean, this doesn't always mean like a wall cloud is developing or something, but definitely a sign of a lot of rising motion on this storm. But lots of scud cloud activity there. Huge rain shaft over here on the right side of your screen, and that's from the storm itself. But lots of rising action. Looks like we got some small little hail falling right now on the screen. All that stuff that's falling right now, that looks like hail. Maybe some small little pea-sized hail here, and this isn't really even where the rain shaft is. It's a pretty impressive view. Again, that's going to be at the bottom right of your screen. We'll continue to keep a close eye on that. But this is the storm that we're talking about. Again, right along the Mississippi River. Not seeing really any rotation anymore. We had more rotation earlier. But that's kind of fizzling out right now. Definitely a lot of hail and wind, though, with this storm. We're going to real quickly go full cam again. They just changed the angle again. So left side of your screen, lots of rising motion, lots of rising Scudclad activity. Huge rain shaft on the right. That's where the majority of that hail is falling as well. It's going to be in that huge rain shaft back over in Lauderdale County, Tennessee, right along the Mississippi River. Let me do this, that, and put it back down here. We'll do frequent updates on that storm as it continues to move more to the northeast. Once again, tornado warning is still in progress south of St. Elmo, southwest of Effingham, Illinois. Once again, if you are in this tornado warning, just stay in your safe place. The warning goes for 20 more minutes. We'll see if that continues, though. The rotation's been weakening a little bit more here over the last few minutes, just south of Vandalia and southwest of St. Elmo. Once again, rotation's going to be located just south of Interstate 70. Here are the winds going toward the radar. That's the wind going away from the radar. And overall, we are seeing a lot of gray in between here and dull green colors that usually indicates broader rotation. And in this case, it is definitely broader rotation at this time. We are still watching the storms that are back down near the Centralia area as well, mainly for damaging winds, but I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado with that activity as well as that all continues to move to the east. So yeah, that pink polygon is your tornado warning, goes for another 20 minutes until 6 o'clock Central Time, and then the severe thunderstorm warnings will also go until about 6 o'clock or 6:15. These are going until 6:15 in particular, so the tornado warning goes until 6 as of right now. Again, that is in Central Time. Thank you, by the way, Jack, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. Let's go back to that storm really quickly down in Lauderdale County, Tennessee. Lots of rising motion. Look at all this rising motion right here. Really impressive. Looks like we got some sort of lowering trying to develop here. It's not really spinning much. But this is interesting. This is, again, the storm that's back over in western Tennessee. We got a ton of rising motion on this storm. This might be the best camera that we've seen in quite a while on a live stream. I mean, unbelievable. Again, this is on Radar Omega Cyclone ports. Wow. And again, we'll continue to update you on that tornado warning back up in Illinois. I'm still watching that storm on my phone. This is really eerie. This is eerie. When I was a kid, I saw something like this with a storm that was not severe at the time, and I saw a very similar sight like this, and it just looks scary. But what we're seeing right here is some pretty crazy development right now. Again, on the Mississippi River. This is very interesting. Again, this is let me give you an exact location. Again, Lauderdale County, right along the Mississippi River, near the Lexora area, near Ripley. Wow, look at this thing develop. I have interesting colors for my warnings. I've always done it like that. I always do yellow for, we're starting to lose the camera a little bit here. I always do yellow for severe thunderstorm warnings and pink for tornado warnings. I've done that for really a long time now. Wow, this is unbelievable. Again, right along the Mississippi River. Crazy rising motion on this, and again, it's not really rotating, but it's definitely a lowering. I'm not seeing much rotation from this angle. Tons of rising motion. Maybe got a little bit of rotation trying to develop now. This is a fantastic live cam again on Radar Omega. This is unbelievable. And once again, this is not the tornado warning. The tornado warning that is ongoing is in Wilburton, Illinois, just southwest of Effingham. Goes until 6 o'clock. The rotation as of now is broader. I'm still keeping a close eye on it. If it does start to strengthen again, we will definitely go back to that. But this is, again, just unbelievable what we're seeing here. I'm going to have to move this over to here. Move the pen over to there. I'm guessing they might shift to this camera further to the north here in a minute. Once again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of rotation in this. There's some little swirls, maybe a bit of vorticity here, trying to like spin up a little bit, but there we go. They're moving the camera. Let's move this back to here. This is interesting. Got a little bit of spin in here. You can kind of see a lot of rising motion, though. I'm seeing a lot more rising motion more than anything right now. And St. Elmo waiting. Yeah, luckily that rotation's been weakening. I don't think that tornado warning is going to last much longer in Illinois. I'm guessing it's probably going to get canceled in a few minutes. The rotation's been weakening a lot over the last few minutes. It looks like a foot. Real quickly, let's check this. Yeah, I'm not seeing ton of rotation here right now. Got birds flying there in the middle. Moe, I highly recommend it. The link to download is at the very bottom of the description. The live cams do it for me. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is just an unbelievable view again of the storm. Still seeing some rising motion on the backside of it as well. I'm not sure if this camera can go any further right. I think this might be the furthest it goes to the right. I could be wrong. We'll see if they shift the angle again. Got 80 people right now on Radar Omega watching this particular live cam, and I don't blame them. This is quite the development that we just saw here on the live stream, again, right along the Mississippi River. Once again, in western Tennessee on this particular storm that is severe. It's not tornado warned. We still have some we have actually some new rotation developing over near the Kim Mundy area of Illinois. Not tornado warned. We will go to that here in just a moment. Yeah, this is quite the sight to see here. Oh, yep, it's going further right. All right, so there you go. Oh, this actually goes really far right. Maybe the person that controls this camera is watching me right now. Maybe, you never know. Look at all this. Look at all this rising motion here. It's interesting to see. You can't really see it here. Let me refresh this here. This is not severe anymore, by the way. The warning just expired. Let me shift this back over to here. So look at all the rising motion. You're going to see it here in a second. All this rising motion right here. It's very interesting. On the top side. Having some loading issues here on this live cam. And once again, this storm in particular, not tornado warned, but it is near Ripley, producing mainly some small hail and gusty winds right now. Real quick update, we still have that tornado warning near St. Elmo, Illinois. That is radar indicated rotation. Rotation's weakening very quickly. I do think that warning will be canceled. With that being said, we have two new areas of rotation that are developing, one of which is near Kinmundy, and another one that's just northwest of Salem, Illinois. We may get a new tornado warning on this in a moment. So if you're in the Oskaloosa area, Omega, or Salem, I would highly recommend that you are getting at least staying weather aware, but also getting down to your safe place, just in case these storms try to produce something. Once again, this is in southern central Illinois, just south of Effingham. We'll go back to those in a moment. But here's another view of that. Again, that rising motion, you can kind of see it on the right side of your screen there. But once again, not seeing any sort of rotation, which is good news. Obviously, it looks very scary, but we're really not seeing a whole lot of any circulation there in Lauderdale County. And once again, this is a strong storm, and it's not severe anymore. The temperature also dropped 4 degrees in this particular location in the last few minutes. So really crazy stuff here that has developed in western Tennessee. You do not see this every day. And I think we cannot go any further here to the right. I could be wrong. Pretty sure this is the furthest it goes now. But still a really impressive view of that storm, again, in Lauderdale County. We have more live cams out in front of this, so we will see if anything spurs up with those as this activity continues to move to the east. Once again, all these storms at this current time are not severe. I'm still not ruling out the chance, though, that one of these storms does try to go a little rogue and tries to produce maybe a brief tornado threat. But once again, we got lots of live cams in this area, so we will continue to keep a close eye on that activity. Let's hop back to the ongoing storms further up to the north in southern Illinois. We got, again, 2 storms that are rotating. I would say this tornado warning is probably going to be canceled at any moment. Rotations developing near Kinmundy, and also some rotation developing near Salem. Once again, just southwest of Effingham, Illinois. So we will see if they issue new tornado warnings on these. We'll definitely wait and see. I think if there is a storm that gets tornado warned, it'd be the Kinmundy storm near Interstate 57. And that would be on track to go towards Louisville, between Louisville and Watson. That rotation would not be on track for Effingham, just for reference. By the way, thank you to Scotty for becoming a 4-month maximum velocity member. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you, B, as well, for becoming a maximum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the velocities. Thank you, Waco, for the $5 super chat. What kind of severe weather will Waco, Texas see tomorrow? I'll try to do a breakdown on that here at least at some point in this live stream, but main concern is going to be large to very large hail. There will be an elevated tornado risk during the late afternoon into the early evening across parts of south central Texas and southeast Texas and east Texas. It's kind of that brown shaded area. That's the 5% tornado risk. I do expect an elevated tornado risk there tomorrow, mainly between 4 to 8 o'clock. I will have a detailed forecast on that hopefully tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. That should be out again tomorrow morning. And also thank you, Zero, for becoming a 11-month minimum velocity member. I do appreciate that a lot, and you're coming up close to a year. Thank you for being a velocity member for so long. Appreciate that. It is going to be a busy week, and we may have a live stream every single day between now and Wednesday. Right now, our plan, by the way, is to go live again tomorrow for severe weather coverage in the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. And in addition to that, we might also go live on Tuesday for the same area, and then Wednesday is possible. Thursday is highly unlikely because I have an exam on Friday. So that is the current plan. Once again, if you are new to the channel, just make sure that you are subscribed. We will have live coverage for you the majority of the severe weather events this week, as all of this activity begins to ramp up, especially down in the southern tier of the United States. Once again, we are getting rotation on the storm near Kinmundy. No correlation coefficient drop. It's not tight rotation, but we may get a tornado warning on that particular storm. The tornado warning on the northern side here near St. Elmo still goes until 6 o'clock. So we will see if they continue that warning or not. As of right now, it is still ongoing for the time being. Once again, this storm right now moving east-northeast. It'll be eventually going towards Effingham over the next several minutes. So once again, if you are in this tornado warning, just stay in your safe place for a few more minutes. Even though the rotation's much weaker, there could still be some damaging winds associated with this. In addition to that, again, we are watching rotation developing again near Kinmundy. Definitely a possibility that we get a new warning on this here in a few minutes, as that rotation is beginning to develop here. Is Terre Haute going to get hit tonight? Not really. If you see anything, it'd just be like isolated gusty winds. Now, the risk overall today of severe weather is quite low. With that being said, damaging winds and an isolated tornado risk are going to exist. It's a very thin area today. Here's the severe weather outlook. For today, there is a small slight risk across the Mississippi River there from very southern parts of Illinois back into western Tennessee. Main concern is large hail and an isolated tornado risk, which a lot of that activity has already happened, but there still may be another isolated event here soon. And by the way, here's the skies now here in Tennessee. That storm has exited the area. It looks beautiful now with still maybe a little bit of rain behind it. With that being said, it's a low risk overall today. Again, isolated damaging winds, isolated large hail, maybe another tornado here between the next couple of hours. It's a very low risk, though, if you're near Terre Haute. I think mainly if you get anything, it would just be strong storm activity. Tornado warning still goes for 8 more minutes. If you are in the Laclede area, I would stay in your safe place, as there is still some rotation on a different part of this storm back near Kinmundy. And again, we will see if they issue a new tornado warning on this. They may or may not. We will see. But the tornado risk is definitely increasing on this particular storm comparatively to earlier. 2% is going harder at the moment. These low profile days always seem to have something. Even these small slight risks, or a lot of time even marginal threats, they always have something going with them, especially in the Midwest. And overall, today's environment is more favorable than yesterday's. We have a lot more, or at least in comparison to what we had yesterday with the tornado risk, it's a bit more favorable today, mainly because we have a lot more moisture here across the lower Mississippi Valley and even back up into southern Illinois. The dew points are comparatively higher than yesterday in areas like Nebraska. Dayton, Ohio. Nothing's happening in Dayton. It's a shame I won't be able to see the solar eclipse tomorrow. Why is that? You're not close enough? I was thinking about booking a last-minute flight, and Southwest Airlines had a non-stop flight for a whopping $800. So if it was like $300, I probably would have done it. But unfortunately, the flights, booking a last-second flight is very, very expensive, especially for this event. It's like going to a Taylor Swift concert. They're all gonna have expensive flight tickets. Once again, if you are just tuning in, this is an active tornado warning in southern Illinois for about 8 more minutes. Rotation that we're now watching is this area near Kinmundy. The rotation that was further to the north initially has now weakened out. It was near St. Elmo. That rotation has weakened very quickly. So we are still watching for some broad rotation near Kinmundy, near Interstate 57. Might even be like a wall cloud or maybe a funnel cloud associated with that. And then further down here to the south, I'm not seeing nearly as much rotation. Looks like we got at least a little bit trying to develop near Interstate 57. But I'd say more than anything, that is just some strong downburst damaging winds that are happening near Interstate 57 north of Salem. But as I mentioned before, again, if you are in this area, make sure again that you are staying away from windows. Damaging winds can knock over trees, send flying trampolines into windows. That's always a possibility too. In addition to that, there also could be a chance for an isolated tornado here. And we also have another little area of rotation developing near Sandoval. So we have like 3 different areas of rotation. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, we basically got 1. We got 2, which is pretty weak, and we got 3. We got 3 areas of rotation right now, all embedded in this area of storms. Definitely the interesting event happening here. But once again, if you are currently in this activity, make sure that you are staying safe or in your safe place away from windows and lowest floor possible. Interior room of your home or building. I would not be surprised if we get a new tornado warning on that storm that's just west-northwest of Louisville. It's definitely a possibility here over the next few minutes. Indiana, I'm not expecting really any severe weather unless you're in very far southwestern Indiana. Main concern would be isolated damaging winds. Thank you, Whispering Peace, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. I appreciate that. Welcome to Velocities, and thank you again for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Seeing if we have any other updates on this storm. I'm not sure if there's any like photos coming on this. If you do have any photos, by the way, feel free to tweet us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Once again, tornado warning is still ongoing here just south of St. Elmo, southwest of Effingham, Illinois, for the next 4 minutes. There is still rotation associated with the storm north of Kinmundy. We may get a new tornado warning on this. We will see. And the National Weather Service of Lincoln, Illinois just mentioned that the severe storm is about to move into Clay County in the next 10 to 15 minutes. There is circulation near Kinmundy as well, so a tornado cannot be ruled out. Meaning that if this rotation does continue, I am expecting a new tornado warning here at any time. It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, so that's the latest again on this storm that is near Kinmundy, Illinois, moving east-northeast, again, just south of Effingham. This could have a new tornado warning at any time. That warning expires in 3 minutes, so if a new one comes out, it would be probably within the next 2 minutes or so. Quick update on the storms in Tennessee. Majority of these are not really severe anymore. They are all strong storms that are producing some small hail and gusty winds. We have live cams across this area, so we will definitely keep a close eye on this activity and see if we get any sort of live view on this. On Radar Omega, here's a pretty good view there on the left side of your screen of some very ominous skies back over on the storm that is located near Dyersburg. Here's another view of a storm as well. So again, this is back over in western Tennessee. Not seeing anything too crazy, just an ordinary downpour it looked like. And then this is in Madison County. Another downpour here in the background. Sun shining through, which that sun will be blocked by the moon tomorrow. We will be getting our solar eclipse tomorrow, anywhere from Texas back into the Northeast. A big deal tomorrow. All right, so the National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, so a tornado warning looks unlikely, at least for now. With that being said, there is still some broad rotation near Interstate 57 north of Kinmundy. This still could produce a tornado as it moves to the east, so if you are in the Louisville area or Louisville and near Route 45, make sure that you are going to be staying in your safe place. Treat it as if it's a tornado warning, as we definitely still have a chance to get an isolated tornado with this, as this particular area of storms continues to roll to the east here across southern Illinois. Once again, rotation is still, for the most part, rain wrapped north of Kinmundy. There's still going to be a chance there for an isolated tornado as this activity continues to move to the east. And we'll continue to watch that tornado threat with this as well. Also, we are beginning to get a little bit of rotation back in eastern Arkansas. We are going to hop to that in a minute. So these storms are starting to ramp up a bit more, even down in Arkansas. Let's hop to that real quick. So here's the latest on the storms in eastern Arkansas. These are near Forest City, just west of Memphis, Tennessee, by the way. These storms are also beginning to rotate a little bit. I'll be watching all three of these storms very closely. I really got like 7 here, but main storms I'll be watching for are going to be these 3. Those 3 storms in particular are definitely looking a bit more sharp right now, and these definitely could try to elevate and produce maybe an isolated tornado here over the next hour. And once again, the Storm Prediction Center did issue a new update, and they did mention that a watch may be issued here in eastern Arkansas, western parts of Tennessee, and northwest parts of Mississippi. Now, if I can find that again, I'll pull it up here. But once again, a lot of storms firing up here. I bet there will be a warning on one of those here soon, at least a severe thunderstorm warning at some point here pretty soon. Severe thunderstorm warning has just, or that tornado warning, excuse me, has just expired. So we are back down to tornado possible as of right now, meaning that there is still a chance for a tornado on this particular storm as it moves towards Louisville. Rotation is still on the broad side of things. We'll continue to keep a very close eye on this as it moves toward Louisville. And once again, a lot of lightning is ongoing with this particular area of storms. And we also have other storms just southeast of Effingham producing a lot of lightning. So if you are in Effingham, I would recommend that you are continuing to stay indoors. If you have any outdoor activities, I would definitely try to postpone those, as there will be a chance here for cloud to ground lightning. We've already had a couple of cloud to ground lightning strikes happen on the live cams back down in Tennessee. It's entirely possible it happens here in Illinois as well. Let me show you guys what the Storm Prediction Center outlook here was for the next few hours. So there is a 40% chance that they issue a watch of some sort, probably a severe thunderstorm watch, if they do issue one. Again, this is for northeastern Louisiana, western Mississippi, southwest Tennessee, and eastern parts of Arkansas. This will go all the way, the mesoscale discussion here goes until 6:45, but a watch may be issued between now and then, so be mindful of that. Main concern, again, will be large hail, damaging winds, and there will be the chance for a couple of tornadoes. So if you are in southwest Tennessee, western Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, or northern Louisiana, I would recommend going over that tornado action plan in case we do get anything, and also make sure that you do have multiple ways to receive alerts. That can include this live stream. It can also include your phone, your iOS device, whatever it might be, cable news, whatever you got. Have all that stuff ready. Tornado sirens, though, do not rely on them, because sometimes they do not work. And if there's a tornado warning, you may not know, because sometimes those do not work. Once again, tornado sirens are not very reliable sometimes. The Forest City storm in Arkansas may get a warning here shortly for hail. The hail core is blowing up there right now. And once again, if you are just tuning in for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, we'll be keeping you posted with the latest with severe weather coverage. Again, multiple days of severe weather coverage are likely. It begins, or really began yesterday. It'll run all the way most likely through Tuesday or Wednesday with multiple risks for severe weather. We'll have another risk for severe weather tomorrow in the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. Damaging winds, very large hail, tornadoes, flying trampolines. Those are all going to be possibilities tomorrow. And a solar eclipse, by the way. In addition to that, we'll probably be live on Tuesday for another threat of severe weather in the lower Mississippi Valley as well. So I'll be watching for that very closely in the lower Mississippi Valley as well as the southern plains. And then on Wednesday, the threat of severe weather will be mainly focused in the lower Mississippi Valley. And then Thursday, there will be another chance for severe weather in the southeast, which there is already a slight risk for severe weather in northern Florida into South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia going into Wednesday, which is Wacky Weather Wednesday. Or wait, yeah, that is Wednesday. Tomorrow, Tuesday. Yeah, no, wait. Or my the days might be mixed up. 1 second. This is Tuesday. That is Wednesday. So Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Sorry. So for Thursday, there's a threat of severe weather in the southeast. That is going to be tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday. My bad. I literally just said that a minute ago, and then I looked, and I was like, that is incorrect. Do you think the SPC will expand the slight risk for tomorrow to Pampa, Texas? Isn't that West Texas? I think tomorrow's severe weather outlook is probably going to stay as is. Let me real quickly zoom out here. Right now, we do have an enhanced risk of severe weather for the DFW area back into north central Texas. This was the big upgrade, basically, that they had this afternoon. There is also a slight risk that goes across much of Oklahoma and much of Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. The main concern right now is going to be very large hail. That's really the main concern across the board. There will be an elevated risk for tornadoes across areas like Tyler, Dallas, Shreveport. Pretty large area, and with how large this is, I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a small 10% area. That would probably be down in here. So again, we will likely be live tomorrow, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified if and when we do go live, which it is very likely we'll be going live for this live stream start time, probably around 5 or so tomorrow. Once again, that'll be for those in North Texas and Central Texas for the tornado threat, and then that enhanced risk is mainly for the large hail concern. Very large hail will be possible tomorrow, and we very easily could have some hail exceeding 3 inches in diameter with tomorrow's environment. So some significant hailstorms are ahead tomorrow in the southern plains. And we still have 2 areas of rotation on this cluster of storms. Again, just south of Effingham in Illinois. We do still have some rotation here. Just west of Louisville. Those are your 2 areas of rotation. Again, lots of hail coming with this as well. Quarter-sized hail is possible just south of Effingham. Damaging winds also a possibility, up to 60 miles per hour. In addition to that, we are still watching broad rotation, so a tornado does remain a possibility. Thank you, Roy, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. Thank you. When will these storms hit the Terre Haute area? I mean, you might get some storms here pretty soon. There are some storms developing out in front of this area, or really out in front of this cluster of storms that we have. So all this activity rising to the northeast. Definitely a chance back up there near Terre Haute that you get some storms in the next hour, but this area of storms will probably not impact you. This should be staying to your south, mainly going towards the Vicini's or the Vincennes area, maybe the right pronunciation, near Sullivan and back near Princeton in southwest Indiana. But I do think if you're in Terre Haute, you're not really in the concern here for severe weather. Maybe some small hail and gusty winds, but that should be about it. Vincennes, thank you. Here's that latest radar scan. And right there near the Louisville area, we are still seeing some rotation in this storm. Both of these storms still have some rotation. Not an imminent tornado warning, I don't think. Again, the rotation isn't really super tight confined or anything like that, but do have a little bit of rotation still remaining there near Kinmundy, Illinois, and as well as near the Laclede area. And again, we're looking at the velocities radar, so this is the winds going toward the radar. That's going away from the radar, and what we'd be looking for is some sort of tightening or really strong velocities in the middle for there to be a tornado, and we just don't have that right now. Definitely some broad rotation, though. And then back over near the Oskaloosa area just south of Laclede, there's also rotation here, and once again, winds going toward and away from the radar, showing that counterclockwise spin, that cyclonic spin, and this right here would be where we're looking for a tornado there. As of right now, that rotation is also still on the broader side of things. With that being said, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings that do address a tornado possibility. So that tornado possible label basically means there's at least some broad rotation here. Once again, just south of Effingham, Illinois, moving to the east-northeast The Newton area will be in the track of this. Flora, Route 50, eventually going towards Robinson. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued back down in Tennessee, which is actually going to be going towards the live cam, so we'll have a view of this. No damaging wind risk, but we do have some large hail. Not really seeing a whole lot of rotation here at all, but large hail is the main concern, and it's going to be going toward Trenton, Tennessee. And once again, we will have a live cam view of this on Radar Omega, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. We got a bunch of live cams down here. The Alamo one looks at the ground, so we don't have much of a view there. That's a pretty solid view there. Left side of your screen, look at that. That is the storm that is going to be rolling into the Trenton area here pretty soon. Strong winds going through the area, but a very impressive rain shaft and storm there on the left side of your screen in western Tennessee. Also, there's no longer a tornado warning. I'm changing the title. Is it going towards me? It says Trenton in the chat. It might be. If you're in Trenton, it'll be going toward you. Were you born in Trenton, Tennessee? You never know. Wow, look at that. That's another pretty good view here of the that storm. Got a lot of rain out there in the horizon, but another impressive view of the storm, and the sun is shining right through the clouds at the very top of your screen. Really cool view here again in western Tennessee. The only rotation that we currently have is primarily up in southern Illinois. We also have the storms back over here, like near Forest City. This storm, I'm kind of surprised, isn't severe thunderstorm warned yet for hail. There's definitely some hail falling here. Definitely is some hail falling with this storm near Forest City. We'll see if they issue a warning on it, but for the time being, it is still just a special weather statement, meaning that it's a strong storm. Another live cam here out of Memphis, Tennessee. Very cloudy skies. We'll continue to watch that area as well as these storms continue to move in this direction. And this is in Martin, Tennessee, where there have been a couple of storms already there today with hail. And once again, this is the Gibson live cam. They are moving it. I'm not sure to where. Now we're looking south. Now we're looking west. This is right side of your screen is a storm. You can barely see it. Oops. Oh, there you go. They're moving it. Never mind. There you go. That's the storm that we're talking about in Tennessee. So again, large rain shaft right there. Oh, they're moving it. Somebody's messing with me here. That's the rain shaft right there. We got some scud cloud activity that you can see in the distance. Once again, this storm that is severe in western Tennessee is producing mainly a hail threat. There's not really any rotation with this. I'm not seeing an imminent tornado risk, but there is going to be a chance there again for quarter-sized hail. So we will continue to watch that storm closely. And once again, if you're in Illinois, we do have a cluster of storms continuing to rumble across southern Illinois just south of Effingham. Main concern still remains as damaging winds, but I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado as this activity continues to move to the east. Once again, that rotation is embedded within most of that rain, so again, if there is a tornado, it would be very difficult to see. With that being said, the rotation is still on the broad side of things near Louisville, just south of Watson and south of Effingham, Illinois. I would highly recommend that you just stay in your safe place, at least away from windows at the bare minimum, and on the lowest floor possible. You don't have to be in an interior room here, but staying away from windows at least gives you a better chance if a tree falls on your house or something like that, falls onto your roof from the high winds. It would at least keep you safer if you're on the lower floor. So I'd at least highly recommend doing that if you are in these multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. Anywhere from Irvington back through Louisville near Route 45 just south of Watson. Just stay in your safe place just in case, as this area of storms will continue to produce some damaging wind potential across southern Illinois. And as of right now, again, we do not have any tornado warnings. We will continue to watch those trends, though, very closely over the next few minutes. By the way, who's watching the solar eclipse tomorrow? Who's watching the totality? Let me know in the chat. who is in the totality path for tomorrow. And if you guys traveled as well, let me know in the chat. I'm kind of curious. I don't know how many people are traveling for this. The totality, again, is anywhere from South Texas back into, like, northern New England. I am considering still doing a live stream for that tomorrow. We do have some Radar Omega Cyclone ports that are in the track, so we may go live for that. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but we might. It is a possibility. I'm watching the partially. Yeah, I mean, the partial solar eclipse is literally happening in the entire United States. It's happening everywhere. Totality is a small area, but the partial solar eclipse is happening literally across the entire country. Whether it's 10% or 20%, excluding Alaska, I think. But if you're anywhere in the lower 48, you will at least have a chance to see the partial eclipse if you have either solar eclipse glasses or you have enough sunshine to the point where you can see it kind of reflecting off the leaves. The leaves have a cool effect during the solar eclipse, even if it's a partial. Sirens going off in Centralia, Illinois. Yeah, the main concern is damaging winds and frequent lightning. There's not a imminent tornado risk there. Rotation is not really existent on that storm. We do still have some rotation back up near Louisville, north of Flora. So there is still some rotation in this storm. But once again, I am not seeing anything imminent for a tornado risk. It has been broad rotation for quite some time. And again, this is all moving right now to the east. So again, if you are in Louisville, stay in your safe place just in case this does try to produce a tornado, or Louisville, just south again of Effingham. What is producing this? This is a low pressure system that's back up in the northern plains. I think it's in the Midwest now, actually, and it's a cold frontal boundary. It's your typical cold front storms that we get during the springtime, but it's a low pressure system back up in the northern plains. So it's actually weakening and moving into the Midwest. It's going to weaken, and that storm will be done by tomorrow. And then we're going to have another storm develop in the southern plains as we go into tomorrow, and that storm will develop and produce severe weather for several days. So that'll begin Monday across Texas and really a lot of the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley, and it'll ramp up as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. Very far left side of your screen, by the way. I know it has a loading symbol, but look at the very left side of your screen there. Once again, lots of rising motion on this storm in Tennessee in a massive rain shaft. And here's that live cam from Trenton, Tennessee. Once again, a severe storm here that is producing some quarter-sized hail, but overall not really rotating at this time. And we also have some storms that are just west of Memphis. These are not severe as of right now, but they do have a chance to produce some isolated large hail as they continue to evolve and move to the east. The Forest City one has the largest hail out of any of these storms right now. Quarter-sized hail is not going to be ruled out with that, even though it's not a severe thunderstorm warning. I would not rule out a little bit of quarter-sized hail. We got some storms also blowing up back over in western Kentucky near Morganfield, Marion. A lot of this activity is outflow driven, or is forming off of outflow boundaries, I should say. So that activity, at least this storm is. A lot of these storms, the main concern will be some large hail. If they, again, intensify and develop and perhaps produce a tornado risk. We are back down to 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. And so, again, 2 of those in Illinois, 1 in Tennessee. And once again, we are still watching for a low tornado risk with the storm that is south of Effingham, Illinois, north of Flora. So once again, this is the area of rotation that we're watching. Still broad as of right now. If we really dive into this storm and zoom in a lot, you can definitely see a lot of that broad rotation in here. It's not very strong. With that being said, these are the winds going toward the radar, and that's going away from the radar, and that would be where we're watching for a tornado potential. With that being said, the rotation is still very broad at this time. It's going to be moving towards Horde, Bible Grove, Hill, the Winter Road area, north of Louisville and south of Effingham, Illinois. Again, moving east-northeast. Next areas in track of the storm will be Newton, back near Oblong, and as well as Robinson. If you're in Terre Haute, I know a lot of you watching are in Terre Haute, you are not in the track right now of severe storms. So, just a reminder, if you're back up that direction, you will have some storm potential, but they will likely not be severe. And by the way, thank you, Jackster, for the $4.99. Appreciate it. And also thank you, Avalanche, for the $2 super chat. What's Benbrook, Texas looking like for tomorrow? The main concern for tomorrow will happen really after 5 o'clock, with large hail being possible and an isolated tornado risk. The eclipse will be mostly cloudy, if you're asking about that. I'm not sure which one you're asking about, or if you're asking about both, but mostly cloudy conditions are expected across Texas tomorrow. How's it going, Paulo? Welcome back. Oblong. Oh, I thought it was oblong. Thank you. Appreciate the correction. We have hail right now in Centralia. Do you know how does it look large to you? Any sort of estimate on the size? I'm guessing it's probably around quarter size. The correlation coefficient. That is showing hail. That would be your hail right there. That correlation coefficient is picking up on. Doesn't appear to be super large. Those values are, yeah, it's probably small hail is my guess, or maybe up to quarter size. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be super large. Even the vertically integrated liquid isn't showing anything too crazy there. Thank you, Avalanche, for the $2 super chat. What's the tornado risk? Kids are worried. It's overall a low tornado risk. I would expect the greatest tornado risk to be south of DFW tomorrow. Connor Croft is not live today, but he will be live tomorrow, I think. Thank you, Katie, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. Indiana tonight. Indiana's not really going to have a whole lot of severe weather, but there will be a chance for a couple of strong storms. That'll be primarily on the southwestern side of the state. This rotation still does exist, but it is weak and broad at this point. Still some lightning. I would say that overall, though, that storm does not seem to have an imminent tornado risk, but we will continue to keep a close eye on it. I will definitely say, though, that these storms right here, I would say, have a little bit better of a shot at maybe an isolated tornado down the road. It's not really dealing with nearly as much convection out in front of those storms. We've already had a lot of convection in here, so a lot of the energy has been used up on that storm, but this storm activity I would be a little bit more mindful of if you're over near Flora for maybe an isolated tornado risk over the next hour. And once again, we are still watching the storms back down in Tennessee and Arkansas. These storms, again, have been ramping up over the last little while. Wow, look at that. This is live in... Look at that lowering right there on the right side of your screen. Again, a lot of scud cloud, not really rotating a whole lot, but once again, another area that we're looking at in Arkansas. This is in Crockett, Tennessee, not Arkansas. Crockett, Tennessee. Again, another lowering, and it looks like hail falling out of the sky right now. Lots of rain as well. This is a newly developing storm, by the way. This is the one that's right here. It's literally just popped up in the last, like, 10 minutes. Just a lot of rising motion, a lot of scud cloud activity. And once again, middle of your screen in western Tennessee, in Crockett. By the way, if you're in the totality path tomorrow, wow, look at this thing. This thing is getting close to the ground. Another really impressive, like, lowering structure here in western Tennessee. Again, back over near Crockett. Once again, a lot of rising motion. I'm not seeing really any sort of rotation in those clouds. Another really interesting area here that we're looking at near Crockett. Again, this storm has literally just popped up, and we don't have any rotation really at all in the lower levels. With that said, this is another really crazy and really scary, I would say. I would say this is more of just a scary looking cloud right now in western Tennessee near Crockett. And this is another live cam on Radar Omega that has this view. It's unbelievable. No problem, Highborn. Appreciate you tuning in. Glad I can help. Yeah, the temperature is going to drop around 15 degrees tomorrow for the solar eclipse once it happens for totality. So many areas, you're going to feel a big temperature drop-off over that totality. Unbelievable. Man, this is an unbelievable looking storm once again. Lots of scud cloud, lots of rising motion. Again, not really rotating, though, at all. I'm kind of curious. What are the... I'm going to look at a sounding here. I'm kind of curious though, like what the wind profiles look like today. They're not fantastic. Not horrible, but they're not fantastic today. Let's go back up to this storm in... Yeah, you can also see that in the background too. This is the one going toward Crockett, Tennessee. That's a different storm though. Humboldt, let's see if we have a view on this. Yeah, the storm's on the left side of your screen. We got one down here. And these are all the radar Omega cyclone ports. This is really our best view again of this scary looking cloud here in western Tennessee near Crockett. Really impressive stuff though. What's the Tennessee tornado threat? It's very low. It's a sus cloud. That's really the best way to describe this. It really is just a sus cloud. It's not, again, it's a pretty scary looking cloud. I do have to say that. Again, this is a storm that literally just developed. Let me show you again on radar. This is what we're looking at. It's just that storm. And once again, just not really any wind or rotation on either of these storms. But no doubt about it, it is a scary looking cloud, an SLC. Also called a sus cloud. The solar eclipse is very hyped up. I have to actually strongly disagree with that. I don't think it's hyped up at all. The partial solar eclipse I do think is not really that exciting, but I do think the total solar eclipse is really a big deal, because it only happens like once every... it doesn't happen very often. I think over the next 10 years, we have maybe 10 total solar eclipses, but like, there's only going to be 2 that happen in the United States over the next, I think, 25 years. And this is one of them. So it's a very rare event that doesn't happen very often. And once again, you can see all the rough clouds in here. This is not, again, a funnel cloud or anything like that, even though it kind of looks like that. It's just, again, a scary looking cloud. Got a lot of scud cloud in here. Anything of these, all these rough shapes that you're seeing here, those are all scud clouds. You can see how they're rising up, and that's, again, a lot of the rising motion that we have in these storms today. So once again, really impressive views here. Let me drag this over so you can see it fully as it continues to move more to the east. Quick update. Oh, they're going to drag it over. Never mind, we'll just go back to here. Quick update for those in... Actually... might do an update on Arkansas. We do have a storm again in Arkansas that's going to be approaching Memphis. We are going to quickly go to that storm. It's not warned, but I do want to give you a heads up. Another scary looking storm on radar is developing east of Forest City, which today, in all fairness, is Scary Storms Sunday. So just west of Memphis, Tennessee, we do have a storm developing here. The main concern overall is going to be large hail if it does intensify. I'm not seeing much rotation on that one right now, but again, near Forest City. Once this gets closer to Memphis, we will have a live cam view of that if it does try to do anything too crazy. That'll, again, continue to move east-northeast with frequent lightning and large hail being possible over the next little while. But once again, it is not currently severe thunderstorm warned, but I do think it could be at any time. And also back up in southern Illinois, we still have some storms here that are trying to rotate, but for the most part, this is mostly turning into a large hail and damaging wind threat here across southern Illinois. The storms overall not really intensifying at this point. They are kind of slowly but surely weakening. I would still expect the main concern there being large hail, damaging winds, maybe a brief tornado over the next little while. And here's where that's what this storm now looks like here. And western Tennessee, again, near Crockett. We're going to have other live cams that are going to be in this area as well on Radar Omega. So near the Alamo area. Once again, just a lot of rising motion. That's really what that is. I know, again, scary looking cloud. That's literally what this is. What's the significance of rising motion in storm development? I mean, it creates updrafts. It creates more intense supercells, and in a lot of cases, it does start to produce a large hail threat because we get a lot of the, rising motion updrafts really start to strengthen, and eventually, you know, storm has a lot of energy kind of up in the clouds. If you kind of draw like a cloud structure, which I mean, there's no cloud structure here, like, you know, we can't really see it up to the sky or whatever, but let's just say we got our overshooting cloud tops or whatever, and your clouds go down to the surface, or like the low cloud base a few thousand feet off the ground. You know, all this rising motion kind of gets some turning up in the clouds, get some hail development, and then the downdrafts will end up producing the threat of strong damaging winds and also the threat for hail. So in a general sense of things, it's really just one of the things that helps to produce storms in general. You need rising motion for there to even be rain. You need rising motion in general. But when we get this sort of scud cloud activity, it at least gives you an idea that the environment is also very humid. In addition to that, we do have, again, rising motion. It's pretty clear here with these clouds how they're just kind of rising up here into the sky. Just below the lifting condensation level. Which the lifting condensation level today is at 930 millibars, about 0.75 kilometers. Let me put that into feet. But the lifting condensation level is about 2,500 feet off the ground. So these storm clouds are probably about 2,500 to 3,000 feet off the ground today. So that's where the cloud base is located here. Once again, a lot of that is just scud cloud. It's not really rotating. Now, if we had a much stronger shear environment, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a bit more of a rogue sort of tornado risk with what we've been seeing with these storms and the storm structures. Even on radar, again, a lot of these storms have had hook echoes. I mean, even this one over here near Hughes does, but it's not rotating really at all. Maybe in the clouds it's rotating, but we haven't had a whole lot of rotation in the low levels. Now, with that being said, this storm definitely could get a severe thunderstorm warning as it moves towards Memphis. I wouldn't be surprised with at least some sort of large hail threat. We do have a live cam in Memphis that we'll continue to monitor and keep a close eye on as well. Wow, that's a large rain shaft. This is all the storm activity that is just west of, I believe, west of Humboldt, and west of the Dyer area and Trenton. Huge rain shaft, though, in the middle of your screen. That is all the rain that's falling. Heavy rainfall across this area. Again, just to the northeast of Memphis and parts of western Tennessee here. Another large rain shaft there in the middle of your screen. And again, this is an Alamo. You can actually see the storm structure a little bit better here. Let's go to... Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can't see it fully. But at the very top of your screen, you can kind of see the clouds here and how they kind of shape off like this. That would be all the wind. Wind's aloft pushing it, but unfortunately you really can't see it yet. Once you see it, I'll kind of put a little diagram on here. Scud cloud, though, is moving out of the screen now. And that's all scud cloud activity. Got a little bit of some, like, swirlingness in here, but again, it's all kind of up in the atmosphere. It's a little bit of swirling. I would say most of this, though, is just rising motion. It's not really spinning a whole lot. But if we kind of go back to here, you can kind of see how the clouds are shaped like this. They kind of like drag. So they're kind of going like almost like, not southwest to northeast because we're not talking about that. But basically, as we go further to the east, the winds here are kind of pushing these clouds to the east, drifting in that direction. So you can kind of see that slanted shape here with the clouds as you go up into the atmosphere. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, looks like we're going to lose that view of that scud cloud activity, even though it's just, again, just scary looking clouds. Once again, this storm that's near Trenton, Tennessee is producing the threat of some quarter-sized hail, and it is going to continue to move to the east. This, once again, is near Trenton, Tennessee, so western Tennessee, if you're wondering. Again, this storm is severe, producing some large hail, and then we still have a strong storm that's located west of Memphis. If you are in Memphis, Tennessee, I would definitely make sure that you are staying weather aware, as there are going to be some strong storms heading in your direction over the next 30 to 45 minutes. Large hail will be the main concern with any storms that do go severe. And then back up in southern Illinois, we still got a couple of severe storms here. The main concern is going to be damaging winds and isolated large hail. I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado risk, but I do think that tornado risk is really, at this point, much lower than what we had about an hour ago when we first went live. I do think a lot of this rotation is not going to be nearly as strong. With that being said, I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado if any of these storms are able to organize. I would say the one north of Louisville definitely has a chance there. We still have had some broad rotation on that for a while. And then back down near Salem, near Interstate 57, there has also been some rotation there, which is primarily back in here near Salem, just east of Salem. It's not much, but once again, might have some sort of chance to develop down the road. I would say, though, that tornado risk will probably cut off around 7:30 at the latest. So I think if there is going to be a tornado risk with these storms, it would really have to be in the next hour. And then after sunset, that risk should go down exponentially compared to what it is right now, which overall right now it is a very low risk. So actually, here's that lowering. You can see it from this live cam now. So that's the lowering that we're talking about, that, like, you know, again, that rising motion, that scud cloud activity. That's that right there on the backside. And then this is all the rain shaft, which the rain shaft is massive on this storm. Got a ton of rain falling. We had a tornado warning in Iowa an hour ago. Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about going live, but it wasn't really rotating enough for me to go live for that. I didn't see it having an imminent tornado threat, so I just kind of held off on a live stream. But with the activity that's bubbled up here over the last hour, it definitely warrants a live stream for me. It is definitely enough activity for there to be a live stream. Is there an actual tornado? There is no actual tornado right now. With that being said, please do not spread false information in the chat. Love your water bottle. Thank you. I just started drinking Circle like a few days ago. I'm trying to get off of Diet Coke once again. We're going on a diet. Sorta. What's going on with the storm tomorrow? If you want more information on the storms tomorrow, I would just watch my video from today. The only change is that there's an enhanced risk now for severe weather, which is mainly for the large hail threat in northwest North Texas. I will probably have a video tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. And in addition to that, I will probably be going live tomorrow. So again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We will be going live tomorrow for extensive severe weather coverage across the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley, with an increasing tornado risk for tomorrow. It is going to be, again, another active afternoon and evening with an enhanced risk of severe weather already issued for parts of northwest North Texas into southern Oklahoma. But there is also probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a small 10% tornado risk as well tomorrow. So a live stream seems like a necessity at this point for tomorrow's severe weather risk. Thank you, by the way, the Fire Gaming for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. Once again, another live cam of this rising motion with this storm in western Tennessee. Again, tons of rising motion in this storm, lots of scud cloud, and not seeing any sort of rotation here. Once again, the winds aloft are definitely stronger, but the winds near the cloud base are not really impressive, and the velocities on radar also are very unimpressive. I mean, we're not really looking, I think, again, at some sort of imminent tornado risk with this storm activity. And the tornado risk for today, by the way, was a 5% tornado risk in this particular area. With that being said, I've not really seen a whole lot of rotation with these storms. We had a little bit earlier, but it's been very, very, very weak overall with the rotation. And again, another good example of that would be this. We just have a lot of rising motion, lots of scud cloud activity, but not really any sort of spin in the clouds, at least from what I can see here on these live cams, which again, we're looking, you know, probably about 10 miles away from this particular scud cloud activity. So scary looking clouds. That's what you can call them. By the way, tomorrow in Burlington, Vermont, if anybody's in Burlington watching the solar eclipse tomorrow, there's going to be at least a 5-degree temperature drop. That's in the forecast when the totality happens. It'll go from 58 degrees down to about 50 degrees. So 5 to 8 degrees probably for a temperature drop. I wouldn't be surprised if it was larger than that. I do think a lot of areas for a brief amount of time for that solar eclipse are going to drop by as much as, really as much as like 10 to 15 degrees. We've had it happen before with other solar eclipse totalities. And even if you're in the partial solar eclipse, the temperature will drop by a degree or two tomorrow. So if you're in like North Carolina, if you're in California, your temperature will probably drop by a couple of degrees because the solar radiation is essentially going to be lower due to the fact that the sun is going to be blocked out partially. So kind of a little interesting thing that'll happen tomorrow. If you're in any of these states, again, make sure that you are maybe going outdoors during the partial eclipse. Even if you can't watch it, you could at least go outside and maybe feel that small temperature drop that'll happen tomorrow. It'll definitely be interesting. The eclipse will be visible in Arizona. It's only gonna be partial. So you won't be able to see it unless you have solar eclipse glasses. Kendall, I have no clue what you're saying. I misplaced my solar glasses. That is exciting. Congratulations. I don't know where you can get some last second solar eclipse glasses. What's funny is that I heard in Dallas, somebody messaged me and they told me that if I was planning on flying into Dallas Love Field, they're gonna have like a whole viewing party on one of the parking garages, and they're gonna be giving out free solar eclipse glasses, believe it or not. So I was actually strongly considering buying a Southwest Airlines plane ticket for maybe a more reasonable price. If it was like $400, I think I would have gone, but $800 is just crazy. For 4 minutes with cloudy skies, I just don't think so. So, unfortunately, I'll be missing out on this one, but we always have 2045. And if you are in North Texas, the next time that you can see totality in the Dallas-Fort Worth area will be in 2318. That is a year, by the way. So, you have to wait 294 years or so, 293 years until the next totality in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I will definitely be putting that on my calendar. They're in every store and gas station out here. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't live in the totality path, so I wouldn't know. But I'm honestly not surprised by that. Isn't Sonic selling a shake with glasses included? That'd be news to me because I haven't heard of that one yet. Here's the storm, by the way, moving into Trenton, Tennessee. And just a huge rain shaft. We're not really seeing any rotation with this one. But still an interesting storm there in Gibson County. Very dark skies on this strong storm. Again, not severe, but it is a strong storm here. And once again, Western Tennessee near the Trenton area and Humboldt. So another view of that again. Massive rain shaft on this down here. Can't draw a circle. There you go. Lots of rain falling. Temperatures, by the way, in the low 80s here. Huh, look at this storm. This one's back down in Madison County. Once again, rain falling. Very bright sunshine here. Shining right through the clouds. Here's your cloud base. Here's your rain shaft. You can kind of see it on the right side of your screen. Let me shift this over. There you go. That is your rain shaft. Once again, in Western Tennessee. None of those are severe currently, but they are strong. Also, back up in Southern Illinois, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings here going for approximately 5 more minutes on the storm that is currently near Louisville, just south of Effingham, and then also back over near Salem and Luca, near the Kinmundy area. We've had storms ongoing there for a while. These are not very fast-moving storms, but they are producing some isolated damaging winds, in addition to some isolated quarter-sized hail. With that being said, we are now down to 1 severe thunderstorm warning. So this is our last one. It goes for 19 more minutes for those in Salem, with quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds being possible. This activity is no longer severe, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a special weather statement for some small hail or gusty winds as that continues to roll to the east. Again, west of Memphis. We do have a live cam here in Memphis. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this strong storm, and it looks pretty scary on radar, but there has not been much rotation with this. It's been mainly a small hail and gusty wind threat here near Memphis, Tennessee. How many people are flying in for the solar eclipse? Is anybody in the chat flying or like driving a far distance for it? I'm curious. I know apparently there's gonna be like 1 million people going to Texas, which I bet a lot of them already are there, but about 1 million people are just traveling to Texas just for the eclipse, which is a crazy number. Retweeting a funny meme on Twitter if you want to see it. If you're not following us on Twitter, it's at MaxVelocityWX. Just retweeted a funny meme relating to the solar eclipse I just saw on Twitter. Driving 3 hours? 3 hours is worth it, in my opinion. It's fine, Tucker. Once again, this is live in Tennessee, where there is large rain shaft. Not a severe storm here, but just another cool live cam. This is a massive blanket of rain that is falling. This storm, again, could produce some small hail, so we might be able to see that here on the Gibson County cyclone port on Radar Omega. A 94% in Chicago, and that's the best you're doing. You're really not going to travel for totality? I know some people have to work, so obviously, if you have to work or whatever, that's, you know, I totally understand. If you have a free day, though, tomorrow, and you're up in, like, Chicago, I really do recommend that you go try to watch the totality. It's a really cool experience. And unfortunately, I'm not able to experience it, but I know many of you do have at least the opportunity if you're within a vicinity of it. Now, if you are in the totality path, that's where you want to be. If you are in, like, the 99.8% area, you don't want to be there. You want to go right to totality, because 99.8% is not that great. It's much better to be at 100%. It's way better. Once again, this is your rain shaft right here. You got the sun shining through, but the rain shaft is, again, pretty impressive here. Tons of rain falling on this storm in Tennessee. Thank you, Nikki, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, the exam that I have on Friday is like 10 times harder than the one I had last week. And the one last week, by the way, for those wondering, I got like a 94 or something. So yeah, I did pretty good on it. I got my results finally, but I have a much harder one this week. So, but luckily it's on Friday and not like tomorrow, because it is going to be a very active next few days. Again, we are planning on being live for at the bare minimum Monday, which is tomorrow. We may also go live Tuesday. We might also go live on Wednesday. So we will continue to watch the weather very closely. But it's much more likely we go live tomorrow comparatively to Tuesday or Wednesday, just due to my schedule. I will probably not be live at all on Thursday, but we definitely have a chance at least on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And once again, if you are just tuning in, we only have one severe thunderstorm warning at this point. That is the one that's down near Luca, or up near Luca, Illinois. Looks like we actually have a little bit of rotation developing here. It's actually anti-cyclonic rotation, which is not something you see every day. That is more rare than anything, but this is in southern Illinois. We do have a little bit of rotation there. See if I can try to see if this is only we're in between a bunch of radar sites. I'm not sure if we have any better view on this, but I think this is our best one. Yeah, we do have a little bit of anti-cyclonic rotation, which only 2% of tornadoes, by the way, that produce tornadoes have anti-cyclonic rotation. So we'll see if this continues into the next radar scan. But yeah, it's interesting. My favorite soda. I usually drink Diet Coke, and that rotation is no longer rotating. Very, very weak now. It actually did have a chance though for a second. At least something. It wasn't really strong at that time. Just south of Luca, east of Interstate 57 in Illinois. Yeah, right there. It wasn't super tight or anything, but it was there for a second. It's on the southern side here of that little hook that we have here. That being said, we do have hail and damaging winds still possible here for a few more minutes. East and south of Salem, Illinois. That goes until 7 p.m. for that particular severe thunderstorm warning. We do still have some strong storms that are west of Memphis. And once again, we do have a live cam, so we might be able to see something here. But we'll see this again in Memphis. We got a huge rain shaft in the distance. So your storm's in here, or not really the storm, but at least the upper level clouds are all up there. Very limited cumulus clouds in the area. Wow, this is impressive. This is again in Gibson County. It's back over in western Tennessee. This is the storm that was severe. It's no longer severe. The sun is shining right through. And it's very bright. We got a lot of rain falling, but that sun is shining right through in this storm, which is interesting because this live cam is literally right here, and this is all rain around it. So somehow it sees the sun to the west. We have a little hook shape here on the back side of the storm near Trenton. But once again, not really rotating at all at this point. We have not really had much rotation on these storms. They've been very, very limited when it comes to rotation. Thank you, Mr. Civ, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. I really do appreciate that. Welcome to the Velocities. That is a huge commitment on our channel. That is our highest tier membership. Please give some hearts in the chat for Mr. Civ for becoming a VIP Velocity member. You are one of like 10 people, I think, that are a VIP Velocity member. So I really do appreciate it, and welcome. Is Texas going to get a tornado tomorrow? Texas tomorrow, the tornado risk is primarily going to be south of DFW. Let me real quickly give you an idea of what's happening tomorrow. So tomorrow's risk of severe weather, once again, it's an enhanced risk for the maximum level as of now, which I do expect that to continue. Beautiful right now, but it will not be like this tomorrow. The dew point is like 30 right now. It's very dry in Texas, but the surge of Gulf of Mexico moisture is going to play a big part into tomorrow's severe weather. Dew points are going to go from the 30s and 20s to the 60s and 70s in no time tomorrow. And we do have an enhanced risk primarily for large hail. That goes from the DFW Metroplex back into southwestern Oklahoma. And right now, the main concern is going to be large to very large hail, up to baseball-sized hail as possible. I would not rule out an isolated storm, though, going over that threshold. And in addition to that, there will be an elevated tornado risk during the late afternoon and evening hours. This will be after the solar eclipse across areas in East Texas and as well as North and Central Texas. The main concern here is going to be still large hail, but there will be a chance for a few tornadoes. I would not be surprised if we got a 10% tornado risk down here, just south of Tyler, Texas. It's a pretty rural area overall. With that being said, it would not shock me if we did get some sort of increase to a 10% tornado risk here for tomorrow. Again, we are in severe weather season, so stuff like this is not unheard of at all. But here's an interesting graphic that I will show you. It's this one. This is the tornado parameter values for tomorrow. And notice how they're the highest here with those initial supercells right around 5 to 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So any of these initial storms, they're going to have the greatest chance of producing an isolated tornado risk. We might also get a low tornado risk on the leading edge of some of those hail storms during the late evening into the overnight hours in northwest North Texas. So that'll be something to watch for. And then during Tuesday, that tornado threat will probably regenerate itself. Here's the NAM 3K model. Tornado risk will probably be maximized across southeast Texas on Tuesday. With that being said, the risk of severe weather for Tuesday is a slight risk, and it's a large area, but I do think the main concern for tornadoes will be down in here, and back over into DFW and whatnot. That area will probably be mainly large hail. Anywhere over here will mainly be a large hail threat. So that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. And can you believe it? We are about 18 hours away from the totality of the solar eclipse in Texas. It's getting very, very close. One more sleep, and then we'll be doing that tomorrow. Here's a live view again out of Memphis. Got a large rain shaft, a couple of storms to the west of Memphis. And they are not severe. With that being said, I would not rule out gusty winds and small hail. And then back up to the north, we have that one storm that is possibly actually intensifying a little bit near Trenton. Would not rule out some hail with that storm. Here's a live view here out of the Trenton area. Once again, got some very low clouds here to the ground, very close to the ground, very humid atmosphere today. Yeah, possibly some hail there near Trenton. All right, thank you, Mr. Civ, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Max is literally in college and helping saving lives. This man deserves to be recognized on behalf of your subscribers, Max. We thank you. I appreciate that, Civ. Thank you. Yes, it is a very busy thing that I do here. I'm always busy. Like, there's never a time where I'm not doing something. So, literally all weekend, I've been working on redoing all these severe weather graphics. And you may or may not have noticed some very minor detail changes, but the top of your screen, it's a more consistent yellow. I basically went ahead and redesigned every single overlay so that it's much more customizable from here. So we have a lot of plans to basically have upwards of a dozen live cams on any given live stream that will be implemented in the stream overlay, which means that we'll have more access essentially to more live cams here across the United States for upcoming severe weather live streams. And so that's one of the big upgrades that I was just doing over the weekend. Again, doing a bunch of graphic design. One of the only changes, though, that you'll probably notice, again, is the top of the screen. Much more clear, severe thunderstorm warning label there. It's a more of a yellow color. Now, if there is a tornado warning, which there isn't, just to prerequisite, but if you see the tornado warning, right side of your screen, it goes red. So the bars there will all kind of coordinate with whatever warning type it is. So, once again, some changes. Again, they're very minor changes overall, but they will definitely be, it'll be more consistent. And again, this will allow for more customizability down the road when we do more live streams in the future and all that sort of stuff. So changes are coming, and I'm excited for all the changes that we're doing. And once again, a lot more live cams we'll have access to here probably pretty soon. And not a guarantee, but it is very likely. And once again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Again, we will have severe weather coverage once again tomorrow. The last severe thunderstorm warning that we have as of right now is about to expire in 5 minutes. But if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Again, we'll be keeping you posted with the latest with severe weather coverage for the next few days. And we are approaching 146,000 subscribers. Also, thank you, Lev, for the $2 super chat. Which part of Northeast Arkansas do you think is the best eclipse view? In Northeast Arkansas, are you talking about, like, do you want totality? Is that what you're asking about, or partial? I'm guessing you're talking about totality. In Northeast Arkansas. Let me, I'll pull it up on here. Here is a kind of a map here of the totality. I don't know if the screen is going to fit it. Let me just go back to, we'll keep it on this. All right, so here is the eclipse viewing according to the short range ensembles. And so as of right now, really Jonesboro area, just northwest of there, is probably fine. I mean, I would be honest with you, if you're in, like, in here, really right in the line is where you want to be for the maximum totality. But Jonesboro is fine. Mountain Home will be fine, even though there's going to be some clouds in the area. It shouldn't be like an all-day thing. The American Ensemble really I mean, this is like the GFS model. It really shows Jonesboro being the best place. So if you are trying to watch the solar eclipse, I do think right in that dashed line area is perfectly fine. I would say if you're in, like, southwest Arkansas, though, I would probably travel further northeast if you want to almost at least give yourself a better shot of having very limited cloud cover. Areas like Little Rock and Russellville shouldn't have too much cloud cover. So, but yeah, overall, I think anywhere really in Northeast Arkansas should be fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Thank you, Misty, for the very generous $20 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, Misty. No message, but I really do appreciate your generosity. Thank you. Are you using a desktop or a laptop to do your live streams? I am using a laptop, believe it or not. And we are now up to 3 monitors. I am still, by the way, we'll be getting a 4th monitor, maybe even more than that in the future. I'm still looking into getting another monitor. I will not have a 4th monitor this week, though. I don't necessarily need it, but yeah, I'm trying to get that at some point here pretty soon. But it's not a super big necessity right now, but I'm still looking into it. I want to make sure whatever monitor I get will be able to be basically hooked up to a mount. The totality for the solar eclipse will be in southeast Missouri, but not St. Louis. You can see the solar eclipse in Huntsville, Alabama with solar eclipse glasses, but you will not be able to see it with your bare eyes because it's not going to be a totality event there. It's going to be a partial eclipse, though. Which means if you do have solar eclipse glasses, you will at least be able to see some effect of it. Who's my favorite band? I don't really have a favorite band right now. I would say Aerosmith right now is up there. My Spotify playlist is loaded up with Aerosmith. I added a bunch of that. Yeah, I think that's the main one. Aerosmith and AC/DC also. Those are the main two. As of now. They change frequently, depending on what I enjoy. The severe thunderstorm warning is about to expire, so we will be off of all severe thunderstorm warnings here momentarily. Again, the only one left is in southern Illinois. With that said, we have a lot of strong storms out there, all of which have the chance for some large hail, damaging winds, and an isolated tornado risk. Real quickly, I'm just going to, it is a black screen, by the way, intentionally. Just give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. Hope you feel better soon, Alma. Hope you're doing well. Do I have any trips planned this summer? I have absolutely no clue right now. I have zero clue. Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue what I'm doing past this week. It's been very busy, and it's going to continue to stay very busy with severe weather. That's all I know. Severe weather season rolls all the way through May and June. I am hoping to do some traveling in June and July, but we'll see. Need at least some sort of break from covering weather all the time. Even when I say that, though, I mean, I always do. Whenever I go away, I have a laptop once again for a reason, and whenever I do go away, I usually bring it with me. So I usually do weather forecasts regardless. With that being said, once again, it's one of those things. It's in my blood. All right, so no other warnings as of right now. No other severe thunderstorm warnings. We are done with that, at least for now. Still a chance that we get another warning at some point. Beautiful sunset taking place here in Arkansas tonight. Not sure if we have any live cams out here to the east that actually show the sunset happening right now. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Right there on the right side of your screen. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. My alerts, for some reason, are in the middle of the screen. I'm not sure why. Oh, not that. Don't know which one the alerts is. This one. There we go. But once again, beautiful sunset here in eastern parts of Tennessee. Another beautiful sunset. What app is that? This is Radar Omega. You can download it in the very bottom of the description. Thank you, Aaron Adams, for the $5 super chat. Shout out to Chef and neighbor Lisa. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for watching. I do a sounding for Terre Haute. I can do a sounding. I don't know what we're really going to see there. I'll do a quick little sounding and see what it looks like. Might as well. We don't have any warnings. Just look at a sounding, see what it looks like. Here's a, this is the latest sounding. Look at this. I mean, like, look at the very low part of the atmosphere. We got a lot of veering in here. Very strong veering winds. Wind profiles are veering. But dew point in here is just horrendous. This is where the lifting condensation level is. So these storms over here are going to be more elevated. That's what this is saying, by the way. These storms are elevated, and usually when we have elevated storms, the tornado risk is much lower. Usually it's a hail risk. So lapse rate is, I believe, pretty steep. Yeah, it's about, it's average. It's like 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer, so it's nothing too crazy. I wouldn't really expect much severe weather there. Again, maybe some small hail, but that would be really at most what you'll be looking at there. It's a beautiful live cam. Just a beautiful view here in Western Tennessee. Thank you, Crafter, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. Do I plan to build a desktop in the future? We'll see. Right now, laptop is fine for my needs, but I'm not gonna rule it out. Any tornadoes you missed out on? I don't think we had anything confirmed on this live stream, at least from what I know. We did have a tornado in Iowa, though, around 3:50 p.m. If you want to see the video of that tornado, you can check it out on our Twitter page, at MaxVelocityWX. And with that being said, also make sure that you are following us on our other social media pages, like Facebook, Instagram, and as well as Twitter. The link to all of those social media links will be posted in the chat. We are posting more actively on Facebook now, so if you're not already following us on Facebook, it is at MaxVelocityWX. With that also being said, whenever there are tornado warnings, we are going to have them being posted to all of our social media pages, mainly for Twitter and Facebook right now, but we also might add Instagram in at some point. So any tornado warnings that get issued, we now have a quote-unquote social media manager, quote-unquote, that will be posting those whenever there's tornado warnings. When does severe weather season go further north? Usually late May, June, usually when it is. Do you think a tornado will happen in Minnesota? Not really. Let's check out the storms up here. Haven't really looked at these storms at all today, other than when we had that tornado warning. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that I'm concerned about. I think the severe weather risk in Iowa, and yeah, I don't know if there's a risk in southern Minnesota, but if there is one, it's pretty much done. It's like 48 degrees up there. It's a very, very cold atmosphere for tornadoes and stuff. Surprised we actually had a tornado earlier. It's not a super primed environment when it comes to the overall temperature and even the dew point up there. Yeah, I think these storms here that are right now rolling across southeast parts of Illinois are overall just strong storms. I'm not expecting any severe weather at this point. Out of these, as they continue to move east, unless there's maybe some like isolated damaging wind or hail potential, like very low risk overall. Lots of lightning, for sure, with these storms, but I do think the tornado risk is really, at this point, near zero on those. We do have some more storms firing off in very far western Kentucky, near Paducah. Not really too concerned about these. The main concern will be some isolated large hail, maybe some damaging winds. And then across western Tennessee, once again, just an overall a low risk here for tornadoes and such. Maybe some isolated large hail or damaging winds over the next little while. That'll be the main concern. Wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado, but I think that risk is going to stay low. Now, with that being said, if we go back down to the southwest here, we actually do have possibly some rotation here and here. I do want to double check that. All right, the velocities haven't updated. I'm going to see what they look like when they update. There is actually possibly a little bit of rotation here, but we'll see. Thank you again, Misty, for another $20 super chat. I appreciate that again. Thank you. That is two $20 super chats. I do appreciate your generosity. Thank you. How's it going, Gee? Welcome back. Minnesota, you can go to sleep. That's pretty much what you can do. Yeah, I'm not seeing really too much here. I mean, there's a little bit maybe of rotation. It's just, overall, these storms are not super duper organized. There is definitely a little bit of rotation back near Route 79. which again is in eastern Arkansas, but it's also very broad rotation. I'd say the one that's up here near Anthonyville, though, that's going to be approaching Memphis, Tennessee. Definitely keep a close eye on that if you're in Memphis. A little bit more organization there. Thank you, Aaron, again for another $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Getting very dark here in Memphis, Tennessee as those storms do approach. Once again, I am not ruling out an isolated threat here for maybe some large hail or a brief tornado. Once again, we do at least have a little bit of rotation. We're at least going to stay live here for a little bit longer, see if this develops as it moves towards the Mississippi River. There is definitely a little bit of rotation there. Thank you, Goofy, as well, for the 199 super chat. I was never going to get a tornado. There was literally a tornado earlier today. I have a video of that on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. What is the green and red chart showing, or map? This is a map. It's the velocities radar. Gives you an idea of rotation that is happening in storms. So what we're looking at right now is an area of rotation that's just west and southwest of Memphis, Tennessee. So this green area is representing winds going toward the radar. The red is going away from the radar. And counterclockwise spin, that cyclonic spin. And so we do have a little bit of rotation here. And it's not strong by any means. It's, at least for now, not an imminent tornado warning or anything like that. But there is a little bit of rotation there. So we'll monitor this as it goes into Memphis and see if it tries to develop into anything. And I think if we do get a tornado out of any storm, it would probably be one of these two, though. Relatively, it's a low risk, but it's not impossible to see maybe an isolated tornado out of one of these two storms. Either the one near Hughes or the one that's near Memphis. Again, very low risk. It's possible. I don't think we're going to get one, but I do want to make sure that we are still live just in case it tries to produce something. And yeah, I don't want to leave you guys in the dark here in case something does happen, but I do think it's a very low chance, but it does exist. I actually kind of have three storms here. We got one up here, we got one here, and we got one here. All three of them have at least a little bit of rotation. Again, this will be moving into Memphis, Tennessee here momentarily. I'll put Memphis, Tennessee's live cam at the bottom left of your screen. Once again, we do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't have any tornado warnings as of right now. With that being said, I'm not going to rule out maybe one of those here pretty soon in this area. Large hail, again, being the main concern. Maybe some isolated damaging winds. No problem, Rose. No problem. Thank you, Goofy, for the 199. Yeah, Ohio's not seeing any severe weather today. What's the chances of a tornado in Houston today and tomorrow? Today, we're not going to have any tornado risk. Tomorrow, it is a low risk. I would say the risk is going to be higher, though, on Tuesday, which is tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday. I do think our risk of severe weather is a bit higher down there in Houston for Tuesday. Again, I'll hopefully have a detailed weather forecast video out tomorrow morning on that. So that'll probably be out sometime tomorrow morning. Thank you, Dakota, for the 199. What about Sioux Falls? Sioux Falls is also pretty much done with severe weather for today. Thank you again for your 199 super chat. How do you get what looks like higher res on Radar Omega? Oh, you're talking about the color palette? This is a color palette. If you want this color palette on your Radar Omega, you can get it in my Discord server. It's just a custom-made color palette. So if you want to get it, there's a link down below, which is our Discord server. If you join our Discord server, you will have a chat that'll show that. It's the Radar Omega chat. And that has a download link on Discord. That's the only way I could figure out how to put like a download link somewhere without it looking sketch. Oh, smoothing it out. Oh, smoothing it out is down here, bottom right. It's this. It's that little paint bucket. Yeah, I always have it on the low smoothing feature. You can go like really smooth, but I don't like that. Doesn't show nearly as much texture as I like. Thank you, Civ, for the $5 super chat. What's the weather outlook for the next week, and how are my Cincinnatians doing in Southwest Ohio? In Ohio in particular, I don't have any severe weather right now in the forecast for any time this week. So I'm not expecting anything there for severe weather. I would be mindful of heavy rain, though, on Thursday and maybe Friday. That's really about it, though. I'm not expecting severe weather there. Now, the overall severe weather outlook, again, if you want the full detailed breakdown, it's in my video today. I will have a video tomorrow morning about it as well. So again, this is today's outlook. It's, you know, we're almost done with this outlook for today. I mean, there's not much severe weather left. It's an isolated risk through the early to mid-evening. Tomorrow, again, enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of North Texas, Central Texas, and Western and Southern Oklahoma. Or really just Southern Oklahoma, not Western. Main concern tomorrow is large to very large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a few tornadoes. We may get a 10% tornado risk down here. We will see. If not, there is, as of right now, there is a 5% tornado risk outline. Again, we will be live tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And then a slight risk of severe weather for most of Texas and Louisiana and parts of Arkansas as we go into tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday. And by the time we go into Wacky Weather Wednesday, there's another slight risk of severe weather in the lower Mississippi Valley. For some reason, it's not loading. I don't know why. But the risk of severe weather on Wednesday would be down in here, and then Thursday it goes into like here. It's a general outline. I don't have it for some reason loading on here. That would be for tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday for this area, so Thursday, and then this would be Wednesday. Approximately. And we'll have a marginal threat, probably something like this, and then something like that, or something like that. So that'd be the main thing that we're looking at for both days. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible. That's near Covington. Wow. That looks like literally a ball of water that's falling out of the sky. It's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in western Tennessee near Covington. This is an incredible view. You got the sunset on the left. You got a big, like a massive area of rain falling right now. Very heavy rain falling here. Impressive. Thank you, Theodore, for the $5 super chat. What's the severe weather risks tonight and tomorrow and Tuesday through Thursday? I just showed you. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate your generosity. That is a massive area of rain. I mean, you can see it moving, by the way. Again, this is live on a Radar Omega live cam. It's moving quick. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, what this little like area shows me here is that the wind is a bit stronger in here. There's at least some more wind here that's pushing the rain out, like kind of making it look like it's like kind of bulging out here. It's pretty impressive. It's a really cool view. Really cool to see this. I don't know what's going on with these alerts. For some reason, they're in the middle of the screen, and I don't know why. They shouldn't be there. Oh, I have 2 alerts. What is going on here? Have the alerts been in the middle of the screen this entire time? Like this entire live stream? I don't know if they've been like that this entire time. Again, we've been doing a lot of work to the overlay, so it just might be bugging out. I think you hold in for the $4.99. Can you get it? Take a look at Monroe County, Kentucky, please, for the next 3 days. Overall, the main concern, I don't know where that is exactly, but Kentucky's not really looking at a threat of severe weather at all between now and Tuesday, other than tonight if you're in western Kentucky, and it's isolated large hail, maybe some isolated damaging winds. That's really only going to exist through about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So it's a very low risk. If that's in like central eastern Kentucky, you're not looking at anything for the next 3 days when it comes to severe weather. This rain is moving. It's trucking along here near Covington, Tennessee. Once again, this is near Covington, just northwest of Brighton. Not seeing any rotation on that, but still a very impressive storm nonetheless. And then back down near Memphis, Tennessee, we got a storm rolling in there with some weak rotation. near Memphis. And that is the storm in Memphis. So we're looking at two different storms here. It's actually getting a little interesting right now. Thank you, Tina, for the very generous $50 super chat. Please give some hearts in the chat for Tina with the very generous $50 super chat. I predict you'll be the top dog of the Weather Channel sometime or someday from a fan in the Little Rock suburbs. Also, thanks for keeping everybody safe in Central Arkansas. No problem, and I really do appreciate your generosity. And thank you again for the $50 super chat. That's very generous. Thank you. That's a very generous donation. Once again, we got a couple of areas of rotation just southwest of Memphis. We got one in here near Hughes. We got another one near Memphis. Watching multiple different areas as of right now, but again, all of them pretty weak overall for the time being. As they continue to move to the northeast, though, we are going to continue to monitor any sort of rotation with this. Very weak rotation for the time being, but I'm still not ruling out a brief tornado in this area through about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. And once again, here's that massive rain shaft here moving through Covington. Thank you, Cole, as well, for the $9.99 super chat here in southeast of Memphis near South Haven. The clouds are pretty fast moving and the wind is really picking up. Good view of the approaching storms. Yeah, we got a few pretty good views of this area of storms. Got multiple different cyclone ports on Radar Omega. This is another one, actually pretty close to South Haven. It's in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And this is the one in Memphis. This storm is approaching quickly in the Memphis area right now. Once again, a lot of rain falling near Memphis, Tennessee. And then near Covington is the area in particular that I'm still looking at least a damaging wind and hail threat. But again, really impressive view here of that downpour that just moved through the area. We're starting to lose that view, but that massive rain shaft on the right side of your screen, that thing has been plowing along for the last 5 minutes or so. All right, let's go ahead and put it back into this perspective. So again, in Lauderdale County, we've had a couple good views on that particular live cam. That's actually looking at the storm that's northwest. So whoever's controlling this, they may aim it back down to the south on the severe storm near Covington. That's again producing quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. And again, scary looking storm right now going into Memphis. Once again, has that hook shape, but we've really had very limited rotation thus far today. Very, very limited rotation. By the way, if you do have any photos or videos that you have taken safely, you can feel free to send it in to our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX, and you may be featured on the live stream. You think Arkansas's main event is heavy rain? Unless you're on the southern side of the state, I don't expect much when it comes to severe weather. I think the majority of the storms for the next couple of days are really going to be mainly heavy rain events, really. But you might get some isolated severe weather, especially on the southern side of the state. Though all of Arkansas is under some risk for the most part, at least on Tuesday and maybe Wednesday. I'm not, again, expecting a whole lot when it comes to some sort of like, significant severe weather event by any means. I think the risk will overall be pretty low. Again, unless you're in southern parts of Arkansas. What am I drinking? I am drinking Circle. It's flavored water. It's pretty good. Not a sponsor, by the way. They do not pay me to talk about their brand, but it's pretty good. I do like Circle. I'm trying to go back on I'm trying to get off of soda basically again. So just an alternative. South Carolina, you won't see severe weather until tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday. Sun setting, by the way. Again, this is the downpour that was moving right near the Mississippi River in western Tennessee. Not far from Covington, but you got the sun setting right there. And again, tomorrow is the solar eclipse. Depending on where you are, the totality is going to be right around 2 o'clock or so, approximately. Maybe 1 o'clock. Again, depends on your time zone and where you are. Beautiful sunset. While that's happening, we got a large area of rain moving into Memphis with, again, mainly a small hail and gusty wind threat. Not really looking at much rotation here for the time being. That would be, if there is any rotation, it would be that area there. And it's not really that great. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for Memphis for actually some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So we now do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here across western Tennessee. So once again, if you're in either of these warnings, make sure that you're staying away from your windows, as falling trees could land onto your roof, and that could cause some damage, and obviously you don't want to be on the top floor in that case, and you also don't want to be near windows. So once again, stay away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you're in either of these warnings. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, in addition to some quarter-sized hail, will be possible. And that's really the main concern. Again, maybe a brief tornado at some point, but I think that tornado risk is really, really, really low at this point. Really on all of these storms. It's a very low possibility. And once again, that is the sun setting here near Covington, Tennessee. It's kind of crazy this cyclone port on Radar Omega can pick that up that well. Looks beautiful. Almost looks like Tatooine from Star Wars. Yes, Creek. Yeah, only Thursday right now. And again, once again, if you're just tuning in, new severe thunderstorm warning near Memphis. The main concern is going to be the potential for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and very reduced visibility, because that heavy rain is coming in quick. And this is a live view in Memphis, Tennessee, and that rain is going to be heavy. So again, reduced visibility is expected in this area. No problem, Creek. And the sun is just about to set over the horizon in Covington. And the camera is shaking, which is actually because there is a severe storm just to the southwest of this camera, or just to the left. It's over here somewhere. There's a severe storm over there somewhere. The camera, though, has not moved. I'm not sure if somebody's going to actually move this camera, but you can see the sun setting here. Very beautiful here. We have Tatooine setting in the horizon, and tomorrow it will be covered over. Gideon, it's probably like 95 to 99% at the maximum. I would recommend, again, if you can travel for it, I would definitely travel to the totality path in central Indiana or wherever it might be there. I would highly recommend doing that. It's one of those things that just, it only happens a few times in your lifetime. You only got to experience it a few times. So if you're able to travel to it, definitely travel. But your totality in Northwest Indiana would be like 98% or something, probably, is my guess. Is Evansville, Indiana good? Yeah, you're not looking at any severe weather today. By the way, that tornado event that we had last week, that produced at the, for the Ohio severe weather event back into the southern central plains. We had I think about 3 dozen tornadoes, I think, that have been confirmed from that over the 2-day period. Somebody said funnel cloud in Memphis. I'm not seeing any reports on that right now. With that being said, we have had some weak rotation on this, so it wouldn't shock me, but I do think it's a fairly low chance this produces anything. But I wouldn't rule out a funnel cloud. It's not impossible. I just don't see any reports on that. The comments are covering your face on my TV. Oh, on TV? I don't even know how you fix that. I know a lot of people watch on TV. I had somebody talking about that. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, because we don't ever have comments displayed on screen. I'm not sure if that's something you can fix on televisions. I have no clue. I'm guessing there is. But I'm going to be legitimately honest with you. I have zero clue. An interesting little hook developing here near the southwest side of Memphis. And very weak rotation overall. There's still a low chance here for maybe a isolated tornado. And the main concern is going to be large hail and damaging winds, but not ruling out an isolated brief tornado. I still think the risk is very low, but it's definitely not zero. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much organization with this rotation. Once again, it is possible that we have a lowering of some sort, maybe a wall cloud. It's always possible, but once again, I'm not seeing any sort of indication here that we have an imminent tornado with this. Even though it is a hook, we've had this a lot today. The rotation has been very, very weak near the surface. And again, I'm investigating to see if we have any reports of any of this, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now. Might be again, there might be a wall cloud. It's just the rotation's been awfully weak in the low levels with these storms today. Watching you on TV and it looks fine. Yeah, once again, I have no clue. I've heard people say various things. Friendly reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Again, we'll have extensive severe weather coverage as we go into tomorrow and most likely on Tuesday and maybe even on Wednesday. So again, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and we'll be keeping you posted with the latest. We do have a storm that may be producing some damaging wind gusts here. Radar is picking up on some high damaging wind potential, some strong downburst winds potentially here near Millington. So possibly this could get warned as well for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. And then again, we have that severe storm back up near Covington in western Tennessee, and also again the one that's near Memphis, Tennessee. The main concern is going to be again damaging winds and isolated large hail. Still a very low tornado risk here for the next 30 to 60 minutes. Hear thunder rolling into Clarksville. Clarksville is just looking at ordinary thunderstorms, nothing severe there. Some lightning. Some small hail or gusty winds possible, but I'm not expecting severe weather there. There's the storm moving through Memphis. Very heavy rain on the south side of Memphis, Tennessee. And there's your severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. So that storm has now been warned. For Millington, just south of Covington, and brand new severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Once again, if you are in either of these three warnings, make sure that you are staying away from windows. Make sure that you are staying on the lowest floor possible, especially if you live near trees or live near a neighbor that has a trampoline, because that could get launched into the air and it could go right into your windows. I've seen it happen before. So again, I would highly recommend just staying in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if you're in any of these three warnings. And all three of these right now moving east-northeast. I'm still not really seeing any rotation on that Memphis storm at all. It's, again, been very, 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 very weak at this point. But damaging winds definitely a possibility there. Olive Branch Cam has an awesome view of the lightning. I'll pull it up and I'll put it at the bottom right. If it gets really electrified, we'll just full cam it. The Memphis, Tennessee one, I haven't really seen much lightning on, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's a bit more blocked by the rain, so you probably won't be able to see the core of the lightning there on that storm. Oh, I just saw it there. Definitely some flashes of lightning for sure. This is near Covington. The wind's picking up. There is a severe storm, again, in Covington that is producing isolated large hail and damaging winds, and once again, that is moving east-northeast, and then the storm that's back near Interstate 40 near Millington is also producing the threat of some damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, and that is again moving east-northeast, going toward Interstate 40. Very dark in Memphis, and it's pink. Depends on where you are in Memphis. That would be because of the sun setting. You're getting that illusion from colors refracting and reflecting. There's a whole class I took on that. It was very exciting. But that's the reason why you're having that sort of illusion of seeing that. I am retweeting photos of tornado damage from Iowa earlier today. There was a tornado there. Again, if you want to see those photos or the video of the tornado, you can check out our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. Lone Oak, Kentucky. I'm seeing a report of some pea-sized hail, otherwise known as cheese curd-sized hail, back over in Lone Oak, Kentucky. So a couple of strong storms over that direction right now. Looks like the hail threat is picking up on this storm on the south side of Memphis. Is anybody in Memphis right now? You guys hearing or seeing any hail in this area? Let me know in the chat. Looks like the hail core is beginning to intensify a bit, though. Definitely a chance for quarter to $half sized hail. Getting a report of half-inch sized hail in Millington right now. But once again, if that hail is falling, it's going to be on the south suburbs here. So it'd be near the Nocana area, near Interstate 55 and 40. Again, very far south side there of Memphis. East Junction in particular is where we're looking in Bellevue. See, no hail yet, no hail yet. Thunder northeast of Memphis. Cheese curds, I'm hungry, no problem. I love cheese curds. I'm just east of Memphis. It's raining, but windy, yes. Okay. I do think the storm that's near Covington overall is mainly just isolated damaging winds, maybe some isolated hail. I'm not seeing a whole lot of hail with that storm at this point. The one near Millington, once again, if you're in Millington, Tennessee, we got some significant damaging winds moving into that area. Wouldn't rule out damaging winds as high as 70 miles per hour. That's taking an aim right at the radar site here, just north of Memphis, Tennessee. So some significant damaging winds possible here, just right along in north of Interstate 40 there, north of the Bartlett area. And then once again, the Memphis storm has been producing some at least damaging winds. Haven't had any confirmation here yet of hail, but the hail core does look larger compared to before. Getting now one report of hail south of Memphis, and that is half-inch sized hail. So we are at least getting some hail now on the south side of Memphis. Thank you, Nicholas, for the $5 Venmo. He also just mentioned that he's had no hail yet in Memphis. Thank you again for your $5 Venmo. So yeah, at least for the time being in Memphis. Oh, that was just cloud to ground lightning right there on the bottom left of your screen. Let me full cam this. This is in the Memphis area. And it looks like we got something in here. Maybe some sort of like lowering or something like that, or just a storm base. Once again, not really seeing any rotation, so I'm not that concerned right now about a tornado, but definitely a lot of lightning with this. We'll see if any lightning kind of appears here at the top left of your screen. I just missed a cloud to ground lightning strike there a second ago. It's in South Haven, Mississippi, so it's right just down to the, it's barely south there of Memphis. There's been a lot of lightning with this storm, though. There's no severe weather right now in Kentucky. There's some cloud-to-cloud lightning. At the top of your screen is where we're looking to see any sort of cloud-to-ground or cloud-to-cloud lightning. I'll wait like 7 more seconds to see if anything happens here. And we'll put it back in the bottom left. Got some scud and rising motion right here, by the way. You can actually see it in the distance. Again, that's the Memphis storm. Cloud-to-cloud lightning still ongoing there at the top of your screen, but right in here, again, some rising motion. Yeah, I am looking in the middle. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's been some cloud-to-cloud lightning. Haven't seen any cloud-to-ground lightning other than the one that I saw at the bottom left. Yeah, once again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of rotation here, at least in the lower levels. I'm still not ruling out a brief tornado, but I think the risk is still relatively low here. Definitely damaging winds for sure, upwards of 60 miles per hour, especially on that storm near Millington, Tennessee. But again, the Memphis area, we definitely have an impressive storm here that's been rolling through. This is the back side of that Memphis storm. So this particular location on the north side of Memphis did not see anything really severe There's just heavy rain. Wind is actually picking up. You can kind of see that here. Wind is definitely picking up a little bit. The camera is shaking. But nothing super definitive there. Going back to Olive Branch. Once again, this is on the Memphis storm. We got a lot of rising motion, lots of, again, all those scud clouds that you see here, all that rough-shaped cloud stuff, that's scud clouds. More than anything, this is just scary-looking clouds, but a lot of rising motion with this storm, which usually indicates some level of at least a lot of humidity, but in some cases does indicate some sort of hail threat, which we definitely have here. And once again, I'm not seeing any reports on a wall cloud or really anything like that right now in this particular storm on Twitter. But we definitely have some large hail potential here, and we actually got like a little kind of bold that kind of developed there in the background. Wow, that was a lot of lightning. Yeah, we got a large hail producer really ramping up here. Still warned for quarter-sized hail, but I wouldn't rule out the hail is a little bit larger than that. Here's another live cam view. So we got another view of this storm in the same area. The correlation coefficient, though, just south of Memphis, picking up on a lot of hail at the bare minimum. Again, just south of Memphis. It's on the southern side of the downtown area, sort of. That right there is all the hail. So definitely a lot of hail falling right there near Interstate 240 and 55. Haven't had any new reports. Now, again, if you've seen any hail, let me know in the chat. But if there is large hail, it's going to be in that area there where the pink and the black colors are showing up here on the reflectivity. And unfortunately, this is happening as well. People are sitting under the overpasses. Please never do this with your car. It doesn't matter what the hail is. You should not be sitting under or overpasses. Never do that. This is literally moments ago here in the Interstate 55 here in the Memphis area. You got multiple cars. I mean, you got like 6 or 7 here that are right now sitting under the underpass. Never do that. That just causes literally can easily cause a car accident. Please never do that. Look at that storm. Again, this is right here in Memphis. A lot of rising motion on this storm, definitely indicating some hail here. Got a pretty good amount of hail likely falling in the southern Memphis area. And I've yet to see anything too. I mean, again, we haven't really had any confirmation here, aside from at least one report that I had of half-inch sized hail. Again, it's still radar indicated threat, but I wouldn't rule out a couple of these storms producing some ping pong ball sized hail, as this does continue to move into the south and southeast parts of Memphis, Tennessee. And that hail core is associated right along Interstate 240 and near Interstate 55. Once again, moving eastbound. It'll be moving towards areas near Germantown. Bartlett on the south side there also will be on the track of this. And once again, if there is any sort of rotation, it is very weak at this time. This is looking right into that storm in Memphis. Again, that is your... Lots of... I mean, again, we've had a lot of rising motion today. It's been impressive to see that in picture on these live cams. There's a lot of lightning, too. Highly electrified storms here in the Memphis, Tennessee area. Just got wind and it's hailing in Millington. The Millington storm. Okay. Yeah, the Millington storm is the one up here to the north. That's going through the radar site. That storm on radar was producing damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. The Covington storm is weakening, by the way. So if you're back up near Covington, I'm not too concerned about that storm at this point. It's a pretty good view here from Madison County. But yeah, that storm up near Covington's weakening. This storm still producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour near Millington. The most concerning storm that we have right now is the one here near Memphis. And once again, this is a live shot from the Olive Branch area in northern Mississippi. This is looking right into the storm. We have a very impressive amount of rising motion, which is definitely leading to some hail in this area. And once again, if you've not already seen, we have a boatload of people right now sitting under an overpass in Memphis. Never do this, please. Never do this if you're driving. Does not matter what the hail is doing. This is not safe. You're going to cause an accident. We have people literally parked in the middle of these lanes. That's how bad this is. Just don't do that. Again, that's right on Interstate 35. Or, sorry, 55, not 35. Never do that, please. Very dangerous. We definitely have some damaging winds, though, with this. I'm not seeing really any rotation, but there is definitely some ramping up of downburst damaging winds, lots of lightning, scary-looking clouds. Again, we've seen scary-looking clouds like this all day long in the Memphis area. Or really all across western Tennessee, I should say, not just Memphis. Do have a new radar scan here. See what the velocities look like on this next scan. We definitely have some strong damaging winds, though, moving through the areas near Interstate 55 and 240. That'll be approaching the Capelville area, and as well as Germantown in southwest Tennessee near Memphis. And here's the backside of the storm in Memphis, Tennessee. Once again, a lot of lightning, but I'm not seeing anything too crazy. If you're in the northern side of Memphis, I'm not looking at a severe weather risk, but there will be lightning in the vicinity. And not really any sort of strong rotation at this point. It's mainly a damaging wind risk across southwest parts of Tennessee. But once again, a lot of scary looking clouds, a lot of rising motion here. And this is a live cam view in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is looking right into this storm in Memphis. Thank you, Tina, by the way, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I do appreciate that, and welcome to the velocities. Sister is an Olive Branch. Hope she stays safe. There's a lot of lightning. Lightning is not technically a severe weather threat, by the way. That is, you know, lightning goes with only like every thunderstorm, so it's not severe even if there's a ton of lightning. With that being said, with all this lightning, there's again a solid chance that a lot of this is reaching the ground. We've already seen some cloud to ground lightning, so if you know anybody in this area, definitely make sure that they are, you know, any sort of outdoor events, for example, make sure that they're going indoors. There's a lot of lightning. Barbecues, cancel them for now, or at least postpone them for the next like 45 minutes as this storm rolls through. If you are putting up your trampoline, make sure that you are also going indoors. It's not safe. I got a lot of lightning in the area. Yeah, there's no concern right now in Indiana or Ohio, for anybody asking. Ohio, specifically, there's no concern. If you're in southwest Indiana, there's like a couple of strong storms, but no severe weather. Once again, that's what the storm looks like on radar just southeast of Memphis. We do still have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in western Tennessee. We got the one that's back up near Ripley, producing quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. We got the one near Germantown, just southeast of Memphis, producing some damaging wind gusts and a little bit of hail. And then near Millington, we also have a damaging wind risk there. So 3 different storms, again, that are currently severe. None of them really have an imminent tornado risk, but I'm not ruling out at least some sort of damaging wind and large hail component for the next 30 minutes. In addition to that, I am watching for lots of lightning with these storms. Highly electrified storms. There's definitely lightning for sure. So, again, make sure that you're staying indoors. Looks like we do have a little bit of rotation on the storm near Henning. But once again, very weak rotation. It's not been a very impressive day when it comes to rotation on these storms. Any of these storms, like literally any of them. Oh, we went night vision on this camera. It is officially dark outside, so we have night vision, and again, we have all that rising motion and a little bit of a lowering there here in the Memphis area. And once again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We'll have extensive severe weather coverage for the next few days, with multiple days of severe weather ahead. How's Tennessee? We're talking about Tennessee right now. What the hell are those people doing under the bridge? Yeah, again, never go on. If you're driving, please never participate in the people that are parking under underpasses, no matter what the situation is. It is so dangerous. It doesn't matter if watermelons are falling out of the sky. I mean, like, it's just It's so dangerous. So you're going to cause so many accidents doing that. Carbondale is fine for tomorrow. Hard is coming down. Rain is coming down hard in eastern Memphis. Yeah, once again, a lot of rain falling with the storm, so reduced visibility is almost certain, in addition to some large hail, which, once again, we've had at least reports of hail. Now, the thing is, we've only had one report of hail thus far, from what I know. If you guys are in Memphis and you've had any hail, let me know in the chat, or if you haven't, also let me know in the chat. But we've had no reports of hail. With that being said, we had multiple cars parking under an underpass, or parking under an overpass, excuse me, in the Interstate 55 area near Memphis. I'm not sure if that was just because of rain. If it was because of rain, that's really pathetic. I'm gonna be honest. It's really pathetic. If you're, I'm being honest, like, really, it's pathetic if you're parking under an overpass when it's raining. Now, I'm guessing they parked under there because it was hailing. But once again, I've not really had any confirmation of hail to this point, at least from reports that I've seen. I've had up to half-inch sized hail reported, which that's not going to damage your vehicle. Half-inch sized hail. Now, granted, this warning is for quarter-sized hail. That could cause some dents, but yeah, never park under an overpass. Never. It's just so dangerous. But we definitely have some damaging winds moving through areas near Interstate 240. Here's a zoomed-in look. This would be where we're looking at some damaging wind potential near the Oakville area, Parkway Village, and approaching Germantown. Again, up to quarter-sized hail is still a possibility as these storms get closer to that area. And once again, this is a live view of this storm right side of your screen. We just have so much rising motion with this storm. No hail here in Midtown Memphis. Yeah, if there's any hail, it would be on the south side. It wouldn't be in the downtown area. I've been to Memphis as well one time. Just driving through, though. Oh, camera, no longer night vision. Okay. And right side of your screen, that is a lowering of some sort, but it's, once again, it's really not rotating. No imminent sort of tornado risk here. It's mostly just a lot of rising motion with some scud clouds. We've got lots of lightning as well. Again, in Germantown, just off to the east of Memphis. I really don't expect a tornado with this. I don't really expect a tornado with any storm that's ongoing right now, for the record. I just don't think we have a very favorable environment anymore for tornadoes. With that being said, really can't rule out a brief tornado, but I do think the risk is extremely low. And this is one of those storms that has that chance. This is really, I would say, the only one with that chance. But I do think the chance is just really low at this point. There is, I think, another camera here. There's another camera here. I'm not sure which direction that one's looking. Might be looking north. I don't really know. It's like the same area there in Olive Branch. Yeah, that lowering's on the right side of your screen. How's it going, Florida? Welcome back. I did not expect this live stream to almost be 3 hours today. It's hard to see outside. This live cam is in Olive Branch, Mississippi on Radar Omega. Once again, that's south here by about 10 miles or so, I believe, or 8 miles, 6 miles, 5 miles. It's about 5 miles down to the south of where this storm is. And once again, this is still producing some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Quarter-sized hail. There's a very low tornado risk with this. When I say very low, I mean very, very low. The warning has been condensed. It is still for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Those threats are still both radar indicated. To this point, there's been no confirmation of that threat actually happening. But I've heard many people in chat talking about high winds and at least some hail. So, bare minimum, there's at least been a little bit of hail here in this area. And also, we still have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. The one back up north of Covington, that storm's been weakening. I don't think they're going to issue a new warning on that one. And then the one back over near... Wow, look at this. This is pretty cool. This is the storm that's back near Millington, Tennessee. Really cool clouds. Lots of lightning again. With it being nighttime, if you're in any of these areas from a distance, you'll probably see lightning. There's a ton of lightning there on the right side of your screen. With that being said, again, this storm moving east, this one will probably also not be continuing for a warning. That storm's been weakening as well. The storm near Germantown, they may continue a warning on that one. We'll see. Main concern is damaging winds and large hail. I just had somebody in chat say Germantown, no hail yet. Once again, the hail core is probably just moving in, so if there's any hail, you'll see it in like the next 5 minutes. Once again, I have not seen any sort of confirmation on that. Near South Haven, there's also some hail falling down there. We might get a warning on that, but for the time being, there's no warning. Main concern if that storm strengthens will be quarter to $half sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be moving towards South Haven. It's primarily down there in Mississippi. But at this point, this live cam in Olive Branch not really showing much anymore. The storm has now kind of moved out of the viewing area of that particular live cam. We have one more over here. I just don't know which direction this is looking. It looks completely different from the other one we were looking at. It is in downtown Olive Branch. Here's the back side of the Tennessee, or Memphis, Tennessee live cam. So this is going to be looking at the back side of the supercell that's moving through the southern metro going towards Germantown. But once again, not really seeing much other than a lot of lightning. It's really been the main thing with these storms thus far. We'll keep that at the bottom right of your screen. All these live cams can be viewed on Radar Omega. If you want to download it, it's the very bottom link in the description. Yes, Luke, it was a 94. The Storm Prediction Center just updated the outlook for tonight, by the way, for severe weather. There is still a low chance for an isolated tornado. With that being said, it has been downgraded to a marginal threat of severe weather from very far southern Kentucky all the way back into East Texas. So that does include Tennessee, Northwest Mississippi, and Eastern Arkansas. Once again, very low tornado risk tonight. I don't really think we're going to have another tornado, but I would just make sure that you have a tornado action plan in place just in case, and have multiple ways to receive alerts, just in case any of these storms do try to go a little bit crazy. This is a live cam out of Crockett, Tennessee. Got some lightning in the distance. Got lots of lightning in there. Got a lot of lightning in the distance. I do think the main storms that are really producing this lightning are these two. This one's been weakening. With that being said, obviously, if you're in any of these areas, again, just make sure that you're staying indoors, as frequent cloud-to-ground lightning is going to be a possibility here over the next little while. Storm is rotating in Illinois. I'll look and see. I'm not seeing any rotation in here. This actually looks outflow driven. Yeah, this looks outflow driven. There won't be any rotation with that. I do think the majority of the... I think all the severe weather at this point is done in Illinois and Indiana. I honestly think the only severe weather that we have left is going to be from about this point in Tennessee and southward. And the risk is overall still very low tonight. It's, again, a marginal threat. It's not like an enhanced risk or anything like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now, with that said, we still could have all modes of severe weather, even though the risk is very low for everything, including damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. It's a very low risk. And once again, I do think the tornado risk is really done, but I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado out of one of these storms. It can't be ruled out entirely, because we do at least have a lot of moisture today. We have a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, but it's not much. And every storm that we've watched today that's been tornado warned, or even just rotating in general, it's just not been... It's not been that impressive when it comes to the low-level rotation. Go Bucks. I don't use it anymore, mainly just because it had too many bugs and glitches for me. And when I found Radar Omega, I just think it's a much better app overall. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued in South Haven. This is right along the Mississippi and Tennessee border. That's a severe storm we were talking about a few minutes ago. And so we do have a couple of live cams there. So this storm will be heading in that direction. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds will be possible. This does include the Horn Lake, South Haven, Capelville, and Olive Branch areas. So again, if you are in the severe thunderstorm warning, make sure that you are staying away from windows. And also on the lowest floor possible, especially if you live near trees, because trees could be knocked down by high winds, and those could also land on your roof. So you always want to make sure that you are staying on the lowest floor possible, and as well as away from windows. Been a lot of lightning in this area in Olive Branch, Mississippi. I'm kind of curious to see if we get any more of that here. So far, I'm not seeing really much right now. The severe thunderstorm warning up near Covington will be expiring in 2 minutes. I'm going to remove that from the counter because that storm's basically done and it's not even in the warning anymore. That one should be canceled here in a moment. And then, again, the one that's near Oakland right now is still producing maybe some isolated damaging winds, but I do think this storm also near Covington is on a weakening trend. And then the two storms that are back down near Memphis, these are really, I think, the only two that you should really be concerned about here if you're in southwest Tennessee, where damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, frequent lightning, and a little bit of hail will continue to be possible here over the next little while. No problem, Gene. Appreciate you tuning in. Why do they always advise to stay away from windows with thunderstorms? The main reason why is because if there's a tree that falls down, or there is wind-driven hail, or there's flying debris of some sort, because damaging winds, strong downburst winds can cause things to go flying, and you could get something going into your window. It's obviously a low chance, but when that happens, it obviously can be dangerous, and you could get injured from that. So that's really the main reason why. Severe thunderstorm warning was just canceled near Covington, by the way. So that is done. But glass can easily break and shatter in high winds, no matter what the situation is. It could be 60 miles per hour. It could be 90. It could be 170. I mean, it could be really whatever. And that's the same thing with tornadoes. I mean, tornadoes are the same way. Though tornadoes are more localized, and if it's like a weak like EF0 tornado, it can still do the same sort of thing. It can send things flying. But strong downburst winds, when they come out of a downdraft, they really spread out, and if they're strong enough, they can kick up things off the ground and send them flying. A lot of the time, it's just dust, but trampolines could go flying. You know? Especially trampolines. Hail is back in Germantown. Yeah, we do have a little bit of some pink in there, which would represent some hail. But once again, it's definitely a weakening storm, and they actually just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning on that one. So we're back down to 2. We do have one that's currently still ongoing that got issued moments ago near South Haven. So that one's ongoing. And then the one that's back up near Millington, that's going to be approaching Interstate 40, Mason, Tennessee. That one's also been on a weakening trend. They may actually cancel that one too. With that being said, stay in your safe place still, away from windows, just in case there are some damaging winds left with that one. If there are any, it'll be approaching Mason, Tennessee. And then near South Haven, this storm is still producing some large hail and damaging winds. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible. But once again, the storm that is now east of Memphis is no longer severe, but strong, gusty winds and some small hail will still be possible. Sister in Olive Branch is about to be your new subscriber. That's awesome. No, this is the second storm now in the vicinity of Olive Branch, Mississippi. And this one in particular has been producing, I mean, both storms have produced a obnoxious amount of lightning at this point, but the one that's coming in is also producing a lot of lightning. So the first one produced lightning, the second one's going to produce more lightning, It's been a lightning show here in Western Tennessee over the last couple of hours. Who would have thought a very elongated marginal threat of severe weather would lead to a 3-hour live stream? Not me. Here's another live cam back up in Crockett, Tennessee. Got some flashes of lightning there in the sky. Yes, raging. It's very dark skies. It looks very ominous, even at nighttime. This is the live cam we've had at the bottom left of your screen, by the way. This one is in Jackson, Tennessee. Again, pretty decent amount of lightning here. It's happening once every like 15 seconds. Not nearly as much as down near Memphis, but still a pretty solid amount of lightning. That would be coming from those storms from near Brownsville, for example. And I believe the South Haven storm that's moving in, this would be it right here. I believe that is the storm. Now, if this is the storm, please produce some lightning. Oh, there you go. Yep, that's the storm. So a little bit of lightning back there in the background. See, I just magically made that happen. Also some lightning at the top left of your screen, but it's kind of moving out. But yeah, that's the storm right there that's moving towards South Haven right now, producing some lightning. This live cam is really our best bet with this one, I think. We got one more in Olive Branch. And I don't even know where this is. I really couldn't tell you. I don't know what direction that's looking. I think the one in Olive Branch, though, the one that's downtown, this one, the City Hall one, I think this one is looking north. Or northwest. I think that, yeah, this one's looking more northwest right now. Got a photo on Facebook, I think, from the storm. Hey, Nicholas, do you mind sending that to me on something else other than Facebook so I can show it? I can't show it, but I don't know if you can send it either by, like, Twitter or something. If not, it's fine. I just, for some reason on Messenger, I can't show it. It, like, doesn't give me an option to, like, make it full screen. Still a lot of lightning here in the South Haven area, once again, right in northern Mississippi. Got some quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds possible with this storm. Lots and lots of lightning for sure. But once again, I do think the tornado risk is very low at this point. The severe storm near Mason, Tennessee is also beginning to weaken, so we're probably going to be down to one severe thunderstorm warning here shortly. We do have some more storms developing right along the Mississippi River near Helena West. But overall, those storms, as of now, are not severe, but they may produce some small hail, frequent lightning, maybe some gusty winds as well. Yeah, tomorrow's live stream might be a long one. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below, as we will have extensive severe weather coverage tomorrow. You're good, Nicholas, no problem. But yeah, tomorrow's severe weather coverage will be pretty long. I'm gonna see what the latest timing estimate is on these storms, but we'll probably start our live stream, I don't know what time, but it'll probably be sometime in the late afternoon, so between like 4 and 6 is my guess. And it'll probably go until it'll probably go up to like 10, so it'll probably be like a 5-hour live stream or so. Again, we have a lot of storms possible tomorrow. Tomorrow's severe weather risk is pretty significant. Once again, it's going to be across most of Texas. That's really the main region we'll be covering. And this is just an estimate on the timing, by the way. So this is tomorrow, right around 5 o'clock. We got some storms that'll fire up. These will be our main tornado producers between 4 and 6. Eventually, these move off to the north, lower tornado risk with those. Hailstorms will be significant back over in north central Texas up until about 11 to 12. And then overnight, they should weaken out. But live stream, probably going to be around 5 hours tomorrow. So it'll probably be a pretty busy day overall. I'm going to see what the latest HRRR guidance is, and we'll kind of go from there and see what the timing looks like for tomorrow. But most likely going to be a long live stream tomorrow. So, again, just make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and I highly recommend that you do click the bell icon down below so you are notified when we go live tomorrow. In addition to that, we may also go live on Tuesday, possibly on Wednesday. Very unlikely on Thursday due to a exam, but most likely at least going to go live those 3 days. And I will try to have a video out tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, I will hopefully have a video out. By the way, once again, this storm that's near Germantown, it's not really rotating. We may have a shelf cloud developing of some sorts, but we definitely have a strong area of downburst winds approaching Collierville, Tennessee. I would recommend just staying away from windows as that storm does approach. And then near South Haven is where we still have a chance there for some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and that is moving toward the Olive Branch area. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Kentucky. This is near Marion. It's only going to go for 7 more minutes. I think this may have just gotten issued. Yeah, this literally just got issued. This is a 9-minute severe thunderstorm warning. How crazy is that? 9 minutes, that's it. This is going to be moving towards Marion and Fredonia. Main concern is quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That is a short warning. 9 minutes, that's it. But if you're in that area, again, stay away from windows. Hail and damaging winds are possible. Thank you, Nicholas, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. I really do appreciate that. Welcome to the Velocities. And if you have not already, put some hearts in the chat for Nicholas for becoming our highest tier membership on the YouTube channel, a VIP Velocity member. I really do appreciate your generosity, and welcome to the Velocities. We are very close to, we've gained 10 members today. I think we're like 2 members away right now from 300. 300 recurring members. That does not include gifted memberships. That's just purely reoccurring members. If you've not already, become a member. If you would like to support the page above and beyond. A lot of the funds that go into that usually go into upgrades for the studio. Once again, we're going to get a monitor here soon. Doing a lot of revamp on the stream overlays. Obviously, a lot of that's been happening recently. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff is coming. We got a lot of stuff coming. And if you do want to become a member, there's a link pinned in chat. There's also one in the top of the description. And there's also one down below. The join button is also the same thing. But if you're on iOS or Android, I believe the link makes it cheaper. So it should be like starting from $2.99. How's it going, James? Welcome back. Have there been any tornadoes today? We had one confirmed in Iowa around 3:50, but that's really about it. That's really the only tornado that we've had. Now, with that being said, we've been live for almost 3 hours for this threat, which is pretty crazy. I, again, did not expect to be live this long, but we've had a lot of cool cloud structures with these live cams across Tennessee, and it's been a very interesting day. Now, with that being said, none of these storms have really rotated a whole lot. We've had a very limited amount of low-level spin here on these storms. We've had a lot of various scary-looking clouds today, but again, the only tornado that we've had confirmed was in northern Iowa right around 3:50 Central Time. Clarksville checkup. Clarksville would just be an ordinary thunderstorm. It's weakening out. Not even really expecting any wind with that, but maybe some brief gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour, and lightning as well. Those will be the main concerns. Somebody just asked in chat, how do you see the cyclone ports? You should be able to enable them in the settings. Should be on here on the left somewhere. I believe it's at the bottom, just blocked by this. Yeah, cyclone port network. You have to turn it on down here. the bottom left. New special weather statement, by the way, for those right along the Red River near the Tunica area. Main concern is going to be small hail and gusty winds. I do think the majority of these storms at this point are weakening. I don't think we're going to have much severe weather left out of this after this storm is done with near South Haven. With that being said, frequent lightning, gusty winds, small hail are going to be the main concerns over the next few hours. Not expecting a whole lot of a tornado risk to come out of these at this point. I do think that trend is decreasing as of right now. That being said, we'll be live at least for 7 more minutes, so we can make this a perfect 3-hour live stream. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat as well. I'll be answering some questions either on tonight or tomorrow, if you'd like to leave a few of those in the chat. But overall, the severe weather risk is beginning to go down here across much of the Ohio Valley, and as well as the Mississippi Valley. Really, the lower Midwest and the Mississippi Valley, not really the Ohio Valley. I don't understand how people can sleep during a thunderstorm. My anxiety will not let me. Yeah, it's just one of those things that, I mean, for me, I outgrew it, but, like, I've never been concerned about a thunderstorm when I'm sleeping, unless there's an imminent risk of severe weather on that given day. A lot of the time, I mean, I don't know where you are, but let's just say you're in central Tennessee or something. There's no risk of severe weather at all. Like, it's just non-existent. So if you're having a thunderstorm right now, or going to have one soon, you're probably not going to have any severe weather. There's really no reason to be concerned, though. The lightning might bother you, the thunder might bother you, whatever it might be, but, like, again, there's no reason to be fearful. Just, you know, have multiple ways to receive alerts. Have a weather radio. Those are really the things I can recommend to you that will at least ease some of that anxiety, hopefully. Now, with that being said, if you do want a weather radio, I will try to pin one at the top. Wow, that's a lot of lightning. I will try to pin one here at the top of the stream. A couple of the ones that I recommend. They should be pinned or tagged below. If not, just let me know. But there should at least be one down there if you need a weather radio. And they're pretty cheap. They're like 30 bucks. And it lasts for a very long time. They're very useful, especially if you're in an area that is prone to frequent severe weather. Hey, Rail, appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Hey, no problem, Katie and Pete. Appreciate you tuning in. You only have to worry when it goes off. That's really about it. Just gotta worry when it goes off. By the way, can you guys see the weather radios down there? I pinned 2. I don't know if they're there or not. I can't even see it on my end, so I don't know. But if you do need a weather radio, those are 2 pretty solid options, and again, they're 30 bucks. It's pretty reasonable for what it does. The storm that is near South Haven, the warning may just get canceled. The hail and wind is a weakening trend here. We only have one severe thunderstorm warning left, and it's a South Haven one, but overall the trend here is that this storm is weakening. Again, isolated hail and damaging winds will be the main concern for the next several hours, but overall the majority of these storms are weakening out. Here's a live cam from Martin, Tennessee. We got a lot of lightning on this one too. Back up in northwest Tennessee, this storm is producing a frequent amount of lightning as well right now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of street lights, so it's kind of blinds out our view here, but plenty of lightning. You can actually see the cloud base there, pretty impressive. I just won a Fortnite game while watching the stream. Congratulations. Congratulations on winning. I'm not expecting severe weather in Ohio anytime soon. Rain is likely as we go into, like, Thursday, but I'm not expecting any sort of severe weather or anything like that. Camera shaking here in Crockett, Tennessee. Again, not a severe thunderstorm warning here, but camera shaking. We got a lot of lightning throughout Tennessee tonight. It'll be a bit of a light show. If you're from a distance, you'll be able to see a lot of lightning. If you're in, like, Lexington, Savannah, any of those areas, you'll probably have a pretty solid view of very distant lightning. that is all occurring on the western side of the state right now, with the exception of a couple of storms back up near Clarksville that are not severe. Don't see anything on weather radios. Nice. I don't know if they're there, but if they're there, they're there. Friendly reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. If you've been enjoying the stream or finding it informative, make sure to like the stream. We are 67 likes away from 2,000. And once again, we'll have an extensive live stream, most likely tomorrow, and as well as we go into Tuesday. So both Monday and Tuesday. I'm not sure if we're doing a solar eclipse live stream tomorrow. I've been considering it. It'll basically be a last second call if I do one. We have multiple live cams in the path, so if we do a solar eclipse live stream, again, we'll have multiple cameras. The only thing I'm thinking though for tomorrow, if we do one, is if we do one, I don't know. I'm planning on having a video tomorrow around like 8 or so in the morning. And so with that being said, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think we'll have a live stream at least for severe weather. I don't know about a solar eclipse. If we're doing 2 live streams, it just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So what I recommend is just being subscribed to the channel. If I do go live for the solar eclipse, obviously you'll see me on here. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified when we go live. And again, if you are new here and you've not already, make sure to subscribe down below. And we'll keep you posted with the latest with severe weather coverage over the next few days. I do appreciate you guys all tuning into this 3-hour live stream. Once again, the severe weather threat is dwindling across the Mississippi Valley, and as well as parts of areas like Tennessee and as well as Kentucky. So no reason to really be live at this point, with the severe weather risk going down quite a bit. If you are new to the channel, again, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live tomorrow. We may go live for the solar eclipse. I'm not 100% sure tomorrow about that. Again, if we do, we will have live cams. So just stay tuned to the channel, and we'll keep you posted with the latest. Thank you to anybody that super chatted today. If you became a member, I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have 10 new members today. It's a lot of new members. I do appreciate those that have become a member today. If you want to support the page above and beyond and you want to become a member, it's for as little as $2.99. You can click the top link in the description below, or the join button, or the pinned link in the chat. That'll all bring you to the same place with becoming a member for as little as $2.99 a month, and it helps our page out tremendously. And again, thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you guys all again tomorrow for severe weather coverage at the bare minimum. If not, we might even go live for the eclipse. So stay tuned. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you guys all again soon.